All right, I'll just hit record. Okay, we're going. We're doing WhatsApp. The show that was slightly de-energized. Oh, burpee. Slightly de-energized by being super full, and then was re-energized by my audio was weird, and I had to fix, because otherwise you would have had to deal with a very reverby episode of WhatsApp that nobody would want. Yeah, I didn't even know what it was. The feature's just called, like, audio enhancement mode or something, and I'm just like, what? Huh? All it did was, like, boost it so that when I was listening to my microphone, which I do to record the show, I'm doing it right now, and in fact, I am actually hearing myself literally as I speak, fed back through my headphones. But that's so that it can record me and Lucky at the same time, without any, like, multi-channel recording or any of the shenanigans. It's a very simple setup. But Lucky was, like, reverb boosted to me, and I was reverb boosted to myself, which means that on the audio capture, it would have had this weird reverb effect. I'm assuming it's so that you can, like, fucking deep bass, hard bass, whatever yourself or some shit, but, yeah, I don't need it. Yes, hooray, huzzah. Welcome to the live translation. I am digging up the Patreon list to read off. Let's go ahead and get that out of the way and remind everybody this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHarp, I Got Comics, Architect 10, Blacklist OG, Carlos, Qua, Jeremy Vasquez, Kylie Denton, Legendary Boss Hunter, Rogue Robin, Shiny P, some guy named Bob, Soda-san, 0424, Saturn 23, Video Gamer 75, and Zach Reed. If you like what you want to see more, consider supporting the Patreon. You can get access to episodes early. Lots of other guys and it really helps us out. And we now offer annual memberships. Thank you for your support. Yeah, I was going to say earlier before we got in the confusion that this is probably going to be another... Well, I know we say this every week, but this will probably be another slightly sleepy episode, because you were making a fence, and like I said, we ordered pizza today, so I'm super double full. Yeah, big carb. Also, my AC's just shivering. Actually, hold on. I'm realizing a slight problem. Did my Audacity get reset? Lucky, speak for a second? Yeah, fuck, it's just picking up my microphone. It's not picking up Lucky at all. Hold on. I didn't update recent since I last reset. Lucky, speak now?
Lucky is speaking now.
Okay, alright. I reset it to the loop back. We're back. I think I'm just gonna leave those 2 minutes in. It's
Sure.
funnier that way. Hey, so we're just all kinds of tech diff down here. Lucky may have to recap that stuff he did, like about your sandwich and food and stuff you've done.
Yeah, well, as I said, Lucky is low energy right now because we are on day 2 of 4 of the fence job.
Oh, fuck.
And I spent most of this day digging holes, pouring concrete, moving bags of dry cement.
Ooh.
Yeah, each one of those bags is 60 pounds. I'm pretty sure I moved, like 30 of them.
Yeah, bags are rough.
Oh.
Fences are bad. Bad news. I've had to build a fence or two in my time, and it's not great.
No.
And you've got, like, concrete and stuff. I've only ever done the old classic wooden fence, which is already a pain in the ass.
No, yesterday was the teardown job where I got to put my powers of destruction to able use, and I tore down a fence. Then we cleared out the space. Today we dug the trench for the forms, because what we're doing is we're putting concrete where the fence post, because we're going from a wooden fence to like a 6-foot chain link fence. But we're putting a concrete form. It's basically just a little concrete path underneath it, so that the dogs don't dig underneath the fucking fence anymore. Because this is literally the only reason why we're building this goddamn fence, is because our dog, Buster, has escaped not once, not twice, but thrice.
Dogs do be like that.
Yeah. By worming underneath the crappy wooden fence or knocking down some of the crappy wooden planks. And we're just like, we were talking to our neighbors about it, and just like, yeah, we don't have the money for it, and the landlord, because they're renting the house, doesn't want to actually do anything about it. What it just tells me is, like, the landlord is literally just waiting for someone else to take care of it, then he can claim the fucking credit, like the fucking slumlord he is.
Sounds alright. Yeah, dogs, having owned a dog for many years, though my childhood dog is now deceased, dogs do be like that. You give them a fence, they'll dig, they'll scooch.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta work around that. Concrete's a good way. They can't dig through that.
Yeah. No, now he's probably just gonna headbutt a pole until it knocks it over, because I'm pretty sure his head harder than the fucking metal. Dumb dog. He's a good boy, but he's an idiot every once in a while.
Dogs do be like that. I'm not sure whether that's a selective breeding thing or what, but most dogs I've encountered have been kind of dumbasses. They're pleasant and helpful, but they're not necessarily bright. Cats, on the other hand, are usually smarter seeming, but they're usually lazier. Like, they understand the thing that goes on, and they're like, no, I'm not falling for your trick, human.
Alright, I need fluffy bucks.
Though, it's interesting, we've recently built a screen and a roof over our back deck, so theoretically the cats could go outside onto it, but they don't. They're terrified of the door.
Yeah, no, that's like Buster. It's super hot. It's been super hot. So we're like, all right, let's get this guy a pool so he can jump around and play and
Cool off.
Cool off. Because the time we took him to the dog park, that's what he did. He ran into the drinking trough. We're like, okay, you dumb fucking mutt. So we got him this thing. We filled it up. He refuses to get into it. Most likely because he thinks we're trying to give him a bath. I'm just like, why?
Yeah, no. It's the classic adage: can lead a horse to water, but can't make him drink.
Yeah.
So like, I'm sure cats are usually, I feel like, more skittish than dogs, except maybe where loud sounds are involved.
Mhm.
Like, I've had several cats, while occasionally a loud sound will make them be like, what the fuck was that? Like, they're not, like, scared of thunder, but I've had a dog who is like, oh, it's thundering outside, I'm going to, like, crawl in a hole and whine. Stuff like that. Loud noises set them off. But cats are skittish about doors, about getting shut into places. I think that the cats have never been out on the back deck, so they're probably like, whoa, human, what's your con game here? What are you trying to do to me? You trying to lock me outside? Like, they're sus. Technically, they have a right to be sus. They were hypothetically kidnapped from an open field, but also they were living in an open field, so. Wow. Yeah, actually, I don't know if I've ever told that story. Our cats are adopted. I don't even know if they were really strays. They were just outside cats. Mama cat came by to, say hi, hang out, get snacks. And then, one afternoon, this was at a previous house, by the way, we've moved with these cats, which is a trip. Cats do not move well. But one day, a small kitten showed up in our backyard, at which point it became kind of a like, okay, well, if one kitten has moved into our backyard, all these kittens are going to move into our backyard. So we policed up all the kittens and put them in our backyard, and then eventually we, kittens are pretty easy. They're pushovers. If you've ever met a tiny kitten, they're real easy. They don't know what from what, so they're pretty easy to just squirrel away inside. But we pulled them inside, and we pulled their mom inside. She had a harder time of it, but got used to it because her kittens were there. So then we adopted these cats. But we didn't keep all of them. We only kept one kitten, my spirit animal Squish, and the rest, I presume, went to nice homes. They were very pleasant, lovely cats. Mm-hmm. And actually, though she is fat now, the little kitten we had ended up being the smallest one. I assume she's fat now because she was the smallest of like 6 siblings. Because cats will push and shove around the feeding.
Oh yeah.
But they now have a very weird relationship with inside outside. Like, I think Mama Cat remembers. By the way, we call them that. We've never given the cat's name. They're just, Cat 1, Cat 2. But she obviously lived outside for a while, so she understands the outside, but doesn't necessarily seem super eager to, like, slip back outside. Probably
it's
remembers
like,
what rain is like.
Like, why would I want to go outside?
Like, maybe we'll poke out and be like, oh, outside. It smells interesting. I'm going to stay in here, though. The other one is like I said, if you go outside a door, she'll be like, hey, where'd you go? But if you try to take her outside a door, she's like, okay, hold on, what the fuck? What's happening now? I don't like this. It'll be interesting. I'm sure I can share more cat stories. So you built a fence. Yeah. We started building a fence, actually. How far are you in that project?
I should have taken a picture. We have gotten up the main posts. We put them in concrete. Because I said, because basically, as I said yesterday, I tore down the fence. That was fun. By fun, I mean I accidentally fell through a fence because it was that weak. Literally, what was happening yesterday is, the unfortunate thing about when you build fences over grass is usually weeds will grow up through the fence and get tangled and caught and hold fast. And this is also compounded by the fact that usually on fences like that, there's hog's wire at the bottom of it, so you can tie the bottom of the fence down and then talk the high wires to each fence post. So Lucky is trying to push the fence away out of the way enough that I can reach down to the hog's wire and leaning against it, and it just all at once, just like half the fix just goes boop, 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 and Lucky just goes down with a fucking crash on top of a bunch of fence and weeds. At which point he is immediately, not attacked, I shouldn't say attacked, but set upon by the neighbor's dog, who is super friendly. His name's Houdini. He's a howler. He's
that sounds about right. If a human goes down, a dog's gonna be like, "Hey, what are you doing down here?
What are you doing down here?" But
okay?
He's a howler.
Hey, human, are you all right?
He's a pure white husky. He's has head of chromania. His eyes are 2 different colors, and he's a howler. You can just go, oh, whoa, whoa, and he'll be like, oh, 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 oh.
Yes, if I recall correctly, I believe Huskies are known as an energetic, friendly dog.
Oh, yeah, he's super friendly. But he came over, investigated me, gave me lots of kisses. He's like, and then I got up and did that. Today, the plan was to build the trench for the forms, which is basically we took a backhoe. Lucky didn't get to play on the backhoe. They didn't let him, bastards. Dig a trench throughout it, and then we got a gas-powered posthole digger because both me and my friend were like, we're not fucking digging these by hand. This dirt's hard.
No, that's a good choice, because I've had to do it the manual way, which even with a post hole digger, it's kind of a pain in the butt.
And used it. It was fun. I mean, it was literally 2 man. I posted a picture of it in general, as I said I was continuing my quest to find underground big booty lizard GF, who is not Skirk. But unfortunately, 3 of the holes, because, like, here's the thing, when Lucky's on the job, I play the role of grunt. I don't question things, I don't ask things, I just let the people who are supposedly know what they're fucking doing do the job, and I just do what they tell them to do, because, that's sorry, if you don't know anything, don't say anything. Unfortunately, I've learned that maybe I should speak up more, because 3 of the holes we dug were fucking dug in the wrong spot, and my friend was trying to fill them all with concrete, and I was like, wait. Those don't go there. And he's like, shit. Well, now you gotta fucking empty the holes. And I'm just like, why me?
The perils of gopher work.
Yeah.
That does remind me, though, I don't know why, but I've been going on I don't know, I just felt like it. I've been going on a load of a go-back binge to one of Rooster Teeth's podcasts, Black Box Down. It's great if you love these kind of, like, true crime kind of investigatory. It's about airline disasters. But I've just been listening to all of them. But there was a double episode, they covered a couple ones back, where the theme was that what was needed in those disasters was crew resource management, where basically the engineers and first officers needed to feel like they could tell the captain, "Sir, I have a concern. What are we doing something about this problem?" Because it, especially considering I don't think Black Box Down has mentioned this, but I know, I believe it's still true today, but for a long time especially, a lot of airline pilots are drawn from Air Force and naval aviators, because they're the ones who have all the pilot training.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, Lucky knows about this, there's definitely a lot of chain of command type shit when you get out of that environment. So that's just, I think, a general thing that needs to be thought of in most cases. Like, yes, there are grunts on the ground who don't know about your big galaxy brain master plan. However, if you notice that a light bulb is turned off, or there's a hole that's in the wrong place, people just need to be ready to go, "Hey, I have a question. Is this hole in the right spot?"
Oh, no. This is something I guess was probably ingrained into me from my military days, because, no, that is definitely a thing. It's like, you don't talk back to your superior officers no matter what. You just the best thing you can do, literally, is just do it how they say, and when they ask, why the fuck is this fucked up, and just be like, this is how you told me to do it. And they'll still get pissed at you, but they'll get less pissed at you, because then they'll just be less pissed at you. Like, no matter what, they're going to be pissed off at you. No matter what. Oh, God. Like one of the things that always killed me, like, when I was in the Navy and we were on deployment, everyone would have to stand watches. Now, watches by themselves aren't too horrible. They're not. They're really not. Usually there's, you can be the helmsman. You can be the helmsman, which is fun. You get to pilot a giant military boat. Shoot, what was the fucking sound? What is a co-helmsman where you get control of the boat's speed, usually coordinated with the helmsman. Then you have forward lookout, aft lookout, and sometimes a boiler lookout. There's also one other position where you're supposed to run messages and shit, but I can't remember what it, and I fucking hated it. But we would have to have watches on at all fucking times. And this includes middle of the fucking night. Now, and if you were on a watch in the middle of the fucking night, you still had to get up. Like, if your watch was like fucking 10 to 6, you would get done with whatever the daily chores were around fucking 1600 to 1700. You have chow at like 1800, and then you had, the like 3 hours to maybe get some sleep before your watch. And then you'd have to get up your watch. You'd be on watch for about 6 to 8 hours. At which point, it's like 6 a.m. Guess what? It's time to start the new fucking day. and you'd have to go right back to work. And I tried explaining to our superior officers, if we had a dedicated night watch, we could literally eliminate this problem from it, but no one would listen to me, because that's not how we do things. That's not how we've ever done things.
Correct.
And so everyone fucking suffered, and I literally ran away. To like, hey, can I just work the fucking mess hall for like the next like 5 months? And they're like, yeah, sure, go for it. Like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna go make fucking scrambled eggs for everybody. I'm out. During that time, Lucky just put on his music that he wasn't supposed to and washed dishes a lot.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, I feel like at some point there would be some kind of thing where, like, something happened in the middle of the night and there'd be a fucking congressional report which was like, and so we've concluded that the cause of the incident was the fact that the night watchman only ever got 3 hours of sleep ever, and we should change this. But until there's a fucking congressional report, nothing changes.
Oh, no, because here's, you gotta remember, everything's charged under the fucking, fuck, I can't remember what it is now. The UCMJ. It's, fuck, what is it fucking called? It's the UCMJ. It basically allows the military to try all crimes within its.
Oh yeah, they got the military the Code of Military Justice.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying that, like, there would be like there would be like a fuck up, and then it would get on CNN, and then you'd be like, "How did this fuck up occur?"
Nope, because they would literally just squash it in, and it's like, literally, like, here's the thing, like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but there have been plenty of things that just got fucking squashed before it got out. Like, let me tell you, sailors do some fucked up shit on shore leave. And it doesn't get out because they have a captain's mast. It stays within the ranks and only in the ranks. Like, literally, usually most CNN things come because someone has a fucking video of it and it got out.
Like I said, I'm thinking of something like a tactical fuck up on Night Watch.
Maybe.
You know, even if something is mild. Yeah, we were in Night Watch and somebody threw a rock and broke a very expensive antenna. How did this happen? It's because the Night Watchman couldn't see shit because they only got 3 hours of sleep. Well,
maybe.
But your point does still stand, because somebody in charge of that boat would go, nobody say nothing to nobody. We're going to get a new $1 million antenna out of this.
Well, like, it wasn't all bad. Like, honestly, it honestly depends on your captain. Like,
that is definitely, honestly, that's probably a big thing with naval stuff, because I was just thinking, like, you were talking about sailors being bad at shore leave. Well, it's probably because you've stuck them in a metal can on the ocean for months at a time.
Well, like, as I said, I can't talk of any, like, direct man, but, like, when I was on my deployment, we had Captain Wallace. And he was a great captain. I fucking loved him. He was incredible. Have I told you the whole stories about Captain Wallace? I only got, like, 2.
No,
but
I don't think you've told a couple of general Navy stories, but not a lot of specific ones.
So, I fucking love Captain Wallace. All right, so Captain Wallace was a great man. He was career military. Literally went through the NCO program. So he started off like E1, E2, made himself all the way up to 06. This man's been in that long. But that also means he has the perspective of being a fucking grunt. That's one of those things that, like, you hear people talk about those jokes about officers not knowing shit. No.
Oh yeah. I believe the Army term for that is butter bars.
Yeah.
Because you can be an 01 fresh out of college and be like 20 years old.
Yeah.
And you technically have seniority over, senior NCOs who have been doing this for 30 years. But if you're smart, you listen to those NCOs, and because they understand this situation way better than you do, and possibly than you ever will.
Yeah. But as I said, he climbed the ranks, and he said he was only in charge for the deployment, but it was awesome. So, speaking of being on watch, there was one time Lucky was up in the superstructure on the bridge. He was helming the ship. The captain came in. Now, when the captain enters the bridge, the officer in charge, the OIC, is supposed to be like, Captain on deck, everyone stops, everyone salutes. Captain goes like, at ease. Everyone cares about their day. No one noticed the captain walk in. Not even me. I didn't realize until he tapped me on the shoulder. I looked at him, he put a finger to his lips, and like pushed me aside. No one has still noticed this man. So, he took the helm, he spun it, and just let it go. Now, this means, this is the helm, this is the ship wheel. It's not no big, fancy pirate ship wheel. It's just a little fucking, It's just a little fucking handle thing. But if you turn it, the ship will turn. So all of a sudden, the ship starts going. I think we went port. But we start going port. The officer in charge, who's basically overseeing the water over there, whips around. You can already see the fucking fury in his face. But you just have that. You ever know that moment when someone has realized they have fucked up?
Uh-huh.
That was that moment right there where this man's about to start fucking yelling at me. He sees the captain at the helm and just, like, tries to get out, captain on deck, but just goes, captain on deck. Everyone salutes. Captain Wally just, gives him the what's up nod and is like, how you doing? He then returned the helm to me, and I straightened our course out, and we continued on. That was the kind of person Captain Wally is. And Captain Wally was also the kind of person who knew that sometimes people need to get off the fucking goddamn boat. So, I was in deck department. Deck department's the shitty department. Deck department is where you send people who don't fit in right. If you know Lucky, you definitely know that he does not fit in well with probably an organized military structure that he has no control over. So, one of the things, I was on the USS Iwo Jima, LHD-7. That LHD basically stands for Amphibious Assault Carrier. It's a fairly big ship. It's not as big as carriers, but they do have a flight deck, which is usually mostly for helicopters, and a couple jets.
The LHD stands for landing helicopter dock. Yeah, so it's a helicarrier mostly.
Yeah, mostly, but it also has this nice little thing called a well deck where we can carry Hellcats. We call them Hellcats, but they're actually called LCACs, like LCAC. They're basically hovercraft. Because we also carried like a couple deployments of Marines on board.
Yep. The other purpose of is amphibious assault ships.
Yep. Amphibious assault. So yeah, this is all, force projection, this is literally it. We park a fleet nearest war zone and we can just unload Marines at any fucking moment.
Yeah, this is part of the United States force projection, which is, I believe, still the best in the world.
We spend all that military budget on something.
If there is a problem, we have a carrier group that can be there before you fucking know it. Mm-hmm. And we have billions of dollars of just military shit to throw at the problem.
Yeah. Like I said, people do complain about the U.S. having way too big a military budget, but I think those people fail to understand just how big the U.S. military is and how far we reach.
Yeah, I mean, there is definitely some experimental, R&D type and procurement type funding, which could probably be reorganized, but a decent chunk of that budget is just, I'm sorry, I don't think you understand how good at this we are, and how much money we spend to be good at this.
Like I said, remember,
geez. It wasn't the first one, but I think it was... What was the first one? Sorry, not the second one. But first Gulf War, didn't we finish that in like 2 weeks?
Maybe.
Like that was the first post Cold War offensive we'd done, and it was fast. Like, it was crazy fast. The second time we got a little bogged down, but it was still pretty quick.
Oh, personally, Chris, I would say yes. Chris Starlight says in the Patreon chat, the question is, do we need to be this big? And I, as a person who has seen some shit, would say yes. It is never a bad idea to have basically a military force ready and willing to go. And I'd rather use my own forces than maybe rely on someone else's. While we do have allies, we do have treaties, we do have all that, but as I said, those are all just things on paper, and they do not control the hearts and minds of those who follow it.
Yeah, actually, if you want to think about that, look up the First World War. It's a good example of that. There were quite a few countries who stayed neutral in spite of treaties, and actually, well, let's just go ahead and besmirch the lovely Italian Empire. Like, people talk about the French surrendering. The turn of the 20th century Italians, boy, they were just fuckers. Where they were supposed to be allied with Austria-Hungary, but flipped on them when the British and French offered them colonial concessions in Africa, which sucked for them. The Italian fronts were not great. There's a lot of mountains there. And let me tell you guys, the Alps suck. And then, so there was one flip, and then they flipped back, because they were supposed to stay the Allied powers' allies, But then the good old fascism has taken hold, and Mussolini decided he was best buds with Hitler. So in round 2, they flipped back.
Like,
Which, again, just goes to show you. It was the same with the Russians. Like, this is, I believe, what they call realpolitik.
Huh.
Like, alliances and idealism are cool and all, but they take a backseat to pragmatic issues of what people are doing.
Yeah. So, I will definitely say that our military probably needs some restructuring and maybe a little less of the old boys club. But as a whole, no. Like I said, we just need to probably spend our money a little bit better. And probably, don't try to send troops for every goddamn reason.
Ooh.
Because,
sorry, I'm on the Wikipedia page for LHD-7 USS Iwo Jima.
Yep.
You probably weren't serving when they could do that because F-35Bs are pretty new. But they could also take VTOL aircraft on there. Did you ever see any Harriers launch?
Yeah. We had those.
Yeah, Harriers. They're talking about now it can carry the Lightning, which is the stealth strike. Probably overpriced, but it does stuff.
I'm pretty sure there's a price on one Call of Duty somewhere.
Almost assuredly. Modern Warfare definitely, and Modern Warfare 2 definitely had the price tag on the F-22 Raptor, which, as much as I love aircraft, I don't even know what happened with the Top Gun sequel. Oh well. Hopefully they stream it. But the F-22 Raptor is a grossly expensive piece of tech that at the current moment we definitely do not need, but it's really cool. The 22 is meant to keep up with. Well, yeah. So people are asking, do we really need a military that big? If we were the only superpower, maybe not. But technically, there's still a lot to be said for the Russian Federation and China, who could decide to be in some shit sometime. And at the very least, the fact that we have a lot of shit and they have a lot of shit makes everybody consider the fact, well, maybe we should not smash our action figures together.
Yeah, we're actually, the best way to think is we're in a giant arms cold race. We just always need to make sure that we have just the best little bit of an edge over another person, but not so much an edge that they feel fucking threatened.
Right. And that's the hopefully, we're not trying to threaten anybody. We're just trying to be like, hey, if some shit happens, we're prepared. Because there is definitely there's a little bit of a technological acceleration, right? Like, Pandora's box was open and all that. You've got some very unstable people with some high-yield weapons.
Oh man, I remember fucking South Korea just firing missiles into the fucking ocean. That was only a year ago?
There's so many, the Koreans. There's so much, it's really weird, but you don't, because America's basically landlocked, right? Like, we're all here, we're all in our own country. We only share a border with Mexico and Canada.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a lot of ocean.
South Korea? My bad. I meant North Korea, my bad.
Yeah, you meant North. It's okay. I think people got you.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that there's not a lot of dick measuring from us in South Korea either. But that's so weird because that's a conflict that technically hasn't ended. Officially, the Korean conflict has not ended. It's just in a state of armistice with the neutral zone. But that's something that happened in the 50s, right?
Yep.
And both countries and us are still doing some dick measuring over there. But you don't really think about that here. I think the only place where we have that issue is up in Alaska because that's so close to Russia. You actually have issues of okay, we need to escort Russian planes back, or Russia needs to tell our planes to wave off kind of thing. By the way, that was another airline disaster on Black Box Down. This was before civilian aviation had GPS, and there was a Korean Airlines passenger flight that accidentally overflew Russia and got shot down.
Jesus.
And the Soviets didn't admit it ever, by the way. It wasn't until the wall came down and they became the Russian Federation that they actually released the records that they did totally, in fact, shoot down a civilian liner like that. It's nuts.
This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you about. They say no, it didn't happen. You can't prove it, and they just keep going. So, there's definitely something to a military force projecting. It's honestly really walking a fine line. Because me and Omega have talked about this before. Lucky is one of those people who believe any form of government is technically applicable and functional. It's usually when you involve the human element where things get fucking fucky. And the same can be said about the use of military power and force projection.
Yeah, and that's not always a bad thing either. That was during the Cold War. There was a lot of testing of nuclear readiness. There were lots of humans. Humans had to turn the keys, right?
Yep.
There were lots of humans in drills and stuff who would not turn the keys until they were I'm not firing that missile until I'm absolutely sure.
Yeah.
And actually, if you think about it, right, like it's easy to think about force projection, but most soldiers have terrible accuracy. Like if you're an infantryman firing, you don't hit guys. You're not even aiming to hit a guy. You're aiming to make that guy stop shooting at you.
Yeah.
They don't even like. That's why snipers need so much training and so much mental conditioning, because they are the guys who are literally like, "Hey, that guy over there, you need to make him dead." Whether it's because he's firing at you or he's important. Infantryman is just, "Hey, there's some dudes shooting at us over there. Make them stop." How? I don't care. They just need to stop it.
Yeah, I said, long gone are the wars of everyone in the fucking line shooting at each other. Now it's all surgical strikes, key positioning, and, targets of opportunity and high value targets.
If you want some really good explanation of this, I've repped it before, but check out Generation Kill, the HBO miniseries. That's based on an embedded reporter going into Iraq, and it's he was writing with Marines First Recon, which is big boy, big dick Marines who didn't do a lot of big dick Marine things, which is kind of their problem. Like, but they're bussing around Iraq in Humvees ahead of their positions, trying not to get hit by Iraqi armor. They never do, but it's still kind of again, talking about that human element, there's a lot of weird galaxy brain shit going on in the military that did a lot of weird stuff. But just, if you want to understand the prerogative, these are guys literally bussing around in Humvees. It's like that first mission in, I'm actually pretty sure the first mission in Modern Warfare 2 is based on these kind of stories. Because at one point, they literally do go through a town in their Humvees and get ambushed. They don't, I think that's very rare to actually see the minigun on a Humvee, though. They're usually 50 cal and 40mm grenade launchers. Yeah, which, by the way, they can't even use their 40mm half the time because it's gummed up from the sand and they don't have the right fucking lubricants.
Nope.
This is also where Omega gets his constant joke about accidentally getting woodland camo. Because there was that whole weapons of mass destruction concern. The Marines in First Recon in the Generation Kill unit were assigned mob suits. They were assigned gas suits that they had to wear to be safe. They were fucking woodland. It's crazy pants. But seriously, check it out. It's a very real look at what our modern military style is like.
Yeah. So I was telling stories about Captain Wallace, and we just conjured it so hard.
Hey, it happens.
Oh, okay, so we're rewinding back. I'm in deck department. One of the things that we maintain is the well deck. The well deck is where we store the LCACs when they're not in use. Basically, the aft end of the ship comes down like top to bottom. Water can flow in, and the LCACs can go out. Occasionally, though, we have to fucking clean it. Now that sets the mood. All right. So we had just left Dubai maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and we're cleaning out the well deck. And Captain Wally comes down. He starts, chatting with a senior chief. Chatting around, seeing how things are going. And he's like, "Is these controls for the well deck?" Senior chief's like, "Yeah, those are controls for Captain." He's like, he starts fiddling. It goes up. It goes down. It goes up. It goes down. Captain Wally goes, "Hey, I think this is broken." Goes up. Goes down. Goes up. Goes up. Goes all the way up. Goes all the way down. "Yeah, I really think this is broken. We might need new parts." "Yeah, let's go back to Dubai for a while." And we went back to Dubai for like another week.
"I think this is broken. Let's go back to Dubai." Yes, sir. That is definitely how you started this story, by talking about it's a lot about the quality of your captain, because, I said, when you're on a floating metal bucket in the ocean for weeks or months at a time, what the captain says goes. So
yeah, no, it's true. So we hung out in Dubai for like another week, and everyone was super appreciative. Then we basically bummed around in the... Wait, no, we were in Dubai, so we were not in the Med anymore, because that means we gone to the Suez Canal. We were
Red Sea?
Red Sea, I believe, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think did we leave the Red Sea and actually go into the Indian Ocean? I don't remember. I don't know. If you looked at CNN, you would know. This is the thing that always slayed me. We're always told, don't tell where you are. People are always listening, people are always watching. But all you have to do is turn on CNN, check the news, and like, oh yes, the Iwo Jima fleet is here in this area, about to perform operations. I'm just like, this movie just smack your face and just like,
Yeah, that's that good old First Amendment. They can order you to shut up, Lucky, but they can't order CNN to shut up.
Oh man. Oh yeah, no. But talking about like being on like lookouts and stuff. Now, like I actually like being on forward watch. I'm pretty sure I've told people this, but I'll tell them again. Forward watch is not actually being at the front of the ship. That'd suck. That'd be weird. No,
yeah, you don't. I'm flying Jack because that's usually a bad idea.
No.
Also, technically, on any carrier type, the front is usually where vehicles take off from. So
yes. So the front watch is on the top of the superstructure. I'm literally on top of the bridge, which is usually where most people hang out. Well, the highest point of people hang out. So unless you're up in the rigging, fucking with antennas and stuff, forward watch is the highest person on the ship. And when you sit on the top of that, you have sight for eternity.
You have sight beyond sight?
Yes. Because you can actually see, like, because around the ocean, there's nothing but waves. It's nothing but flat water. Well, not particularly flat, especially in the storm. Oh, God. Let me tell you, if there's one time you do not want to be on forward watch, it's during a storm. I'll talk about that in a minute. But when the seas are calm, they usually say about you can see, if you're at sea level and you look out, you can see about 14 miles. When you sit on the forward watch, you're sitting like, I want to say like almost 10 stories up. Like, I can't think of a proper number off the top of my head because ship height is fucking weird, man. The ship might sink lower into the wall the more shit it has on it. That's how fucking buoyancy works. But you're like literally the highest point, and you can literally just see it, and you can just feel the earth curving ahead. It is fucking wild. Do you want to feel insignificant? Just be in the middle of the fucking ocean, not be able to see anything around you. It's fucking wild.
I think the ocean and space are one of the big things.
Yeah. Like the sky touches water and you can't tell the difference that far. Like, also, at night, it's also beautiful, because I said there's almost no light pollution. Because at night, ships run red, because red lights.
Yeah, red wavelengths die off faster.
Yes. So you usually have gorgeous nights. The moon is always beautiful. Stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to like I'm gonna tell y'all right now, Lucky's kind of an immature motherfucker right now, but before I was in the Navy, I was even more so. And being in the Navy, by being on that, just realizing how insignificant in this fucking life I am, and you have to make your own way. That came from me just having a moment on the fucking ocean, sitting on the top of a goddamn multi-million, billion maybe even ship, like packed to the brim with guns, and just like, I am just a cog here, but I'm my own cog. But then there's the moments when you're doing it for like that when there's on a storm. Now, LHG-7 USS Yuma, it's a pretty big fucking ship. But it doesn't matter how fucking big your ship is. The ocean is fucking bigger, and it's gonna push you the fuck around. And here's the problem. Like I said, okay, so remember I just said forward watch is about 10 stories fucking up. Now, if you're in a storm and the waves are pushing the ship, back and forth, well, that means the hull is probably moving back and forth a little bit too. Now, down on the base levels, it's probably not that much. But if you go up 10 stories, that little bit of motion at the bottom of the ship turns into you're hanging on for dear life onto poles as the superstructure is swinging back and forth.
Yeah, it's always a scaling thing, right? Like,
yeah. The
boat weighs so many tons, but because it floats, that's a lot more flexible than you think.
Yeah.
Floating, much like flying, is so weird. Like, it's just about buoyancy or lift. But if you have, and it also depends on where you are. Like, if you're in I remember this from, like, small civilian boating, and Omega does not like the ocean. I've said this before. I'm not a great fan. But if you're in, like, a small bay or outlet, like 3 or 4 foot waves are a pretty big deal. When you go in the ocean, listen, 3 or 4 foot waves, they're not as big because there's a lot more volume out there. But like even a 10-foot surf, just imagine like you said, how many ton boat, it goes up 10 feet and goes down 10 feet. Okay? And then in a storm, those waves can get a lot higher. The boat's not in danger, but it's still moving a lot.
This is why Lucky jokes that he has the skilled voyager of the storm, because there's been many times I've been on forward watch just hanging on to dear life while the fucking superstructure is singing back and forth, and I am screaming, like, how do I explain this feeling of absolute terror but absolute excitement? Just so far gone, you don't even fucking care.
Well, I mean, I assume it's kind of like riding a roller coaster, only you can actually fall off. So riding an old roller coaster that could have killed you.
Yeah. But, again, this is why I said I loved Forward Watch, is because more often than not, the storm would finish before I get off watch. And have you ever seen a fucking becalmed sea where there is not a fucking wave moving and the entire ocean is just a single pane of fucking glass? Like, you might be able to find pictures of it online, because that is a thing. But most often this happens after a storm. And again, just another one of those moments of you just see nothing but glass for miles, and you're just all like, I am insignificant. Like, Lucky really, like, I'm not gonna front. I hated being in the military. I really did. Lucky does not do well with people telling him what to do, especially when he thinks he can do it better. He doesn't like being on such strict schedules. He doesn't like being a cog. But I always appreciate the military just for those little moments where I'm just all like, yeah, this experience is part of my life now. Like literally, like I said, if Lucky was a servant, one of his military fucking skill would be Voyager of the Storm. Not like in the more traditional sense of just someone who has seen and experienced maybe something a little bit more than anyone else has. Well, not anyone else. There's plenty, like I'm saying, that was literally a boat full of people, but it's an experience that not everyone has had. Not the majority. Ah, man. Ooh, good times. But yeah, that's Lucky talking about his military escapades for like what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, depending. Some of that was fence talk, but we're about 45.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a title for the episode.
What?
I'm gonna call it Nautical Narratives because I love alliteration. We might also talk about other stuff. But you know what we're not going to talk about again yet?
What?
Ghost of Tsushima, because I haven't started it yet. It's in my machine. I haven't played it yet.
How dare. No, not how dare. You were playing with us the other night.
Yes, we did a semi-successful Jackbox Friday. There were no technical problems, but there were a couple of weird rounds. Especially that round of Dictionarium. I don't know what happened, but man, that one did not go well.
I wasn't feeling it.
Which was it was a little unusual, because Dictionarium is usually a really good starter game, but I guess it just didn't work out as well for us.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was pretty...
Still mad I lost.
Successful.
I'm slightly mad I lost Trivia Murder Party.
Hey, it happens.
I don't like the fact that I don't know if I like the fact that the ghosts get 3 options while I only get 2.
Well, it's literally so they can catch up, because if they couldn't exceed you in questions, there would be no dramatic tension. The thing to remember is it's not necessarily 100% a test of your knowledge ability. It is fundamentally a trivia party game, so they need a little bit of that dramatic tension in there. It's the same reason for why for Trivia Murder Party 2, they added a feature where you have to get a unanimous one at the end to get out, which I think is even more bullshit than the fact that ghosts get 3, that you have to get unanimous at the end, otherwise you're fucked, because you could be... It tends to make the person who's been doing the best overall win, which I think is how I pulled it out. Like, I think even Vesper yelled that I still got the win last night, because we both blew through the end, but I had more money, because, I mean, I'm not gonna be shy about it. I've told the story of how in college people would call me the human textbook. I do actually have really good fact-based recall, which makes me good at trivia games. If I have heard a factoid before, I'm usually pretty good at picking it up, and if not, I can logic out some shit. Like, what was that one about wrapped in pastry on crombe or something?
Yeah.
But it was like, they offered you a couple, and it was like, does it mean they're on fire? I'm like, no, that would be on flambe. And there were some others, and I'm like, you can just logic out some of those.
Yeah.
There are some questions that could be fuckers, like that fucking Twinkie question. I was like, if the answer is it's always been vanilla, I'm gonna be pissed, because that's not a real question answer. That's just...
a trick.
Yeah, it would be a leading question, but it wasn't. For future reference, they used to be banana cream, just so you know. But yeah, we had some fun in there. We had some weirdness with bracketeering. Bracketeering's fun. It takes a little while to get going. Hopefully, if they ever do like a bracketeering 2, they just make that first intro round fuck off.
I don't know. I think we had fun with the first
Well, okay, it depends. Because, like, the real fun is the triple blind round where it changes every time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because that makes it way more chaotic.
Mm-hmm. But, like,
I think the first round is really stilted because if somebody comes up with a really good answer, they will win. They just win, right?
Oh, like, I would say, like, the first bracket we did was, what it turned out to be was, what was the subtitle next Call of Duty game. And we had, like, a lot of people had some really fucking good ones.
Well, that was the single blind round, right? The question it asked us was, give some good life advice, and then it turned into that one. I'm talking about the first vanilla round where it's just, they ask you a question and you just bracketeer that. That can be very stilted and very obvious if somebody writes a really good answer. Because it doesn't change.
Right, what was the fucking...
I didn't even remember that first round. What was it? Because we played it twice.
Yeah.
And we remember the blind and the triple blind rounds because those are really good and memorable.
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, no, I don't remember. Oh yeah, no, fuck, it was name a 90s cartoon character. Because I went with Big Slamoo. And then...
Yeah, was that the one that was just straight up the most annoying character, or was that a blind one also? I don't remember. We don't need to talk about it too long. There's a lot of... Jackbox is still fun. There's a lot of weirdness. We didn't get a lot of action with my hookup. And hopefully that wasn't what fucked over my audio setup, but it might have been. Who knows? I'll have to rebuild everything next time I stream or shoot video.
Bang, bang.
Yawning. I'm full of the full. But yeah, that's why I haven't started Ghost of Tsushima. And today I didn't start it because I was working on something else, which we can talk about. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to. Which is, I wanted to hopefully finish up part of something for GenSekai.
Oh, you did more work on it?
Yeah.
Alright, well, let me go open it up. Let me go look.
So, first of all, I have... Well, technically, okay, I need to do the graphics so you can actually see the trees, but I have finished all the quote-unquote prestige classes. We were down to Wizard, I think, last. And that's done. So there's Hexslinger, Necromancer, and Red Hat Inn. Hexslinger's kind of interesting. They're split between... One half is a lot of extra dual-wielding type talents that aren't in other classes.
Yeah!
So you can actually do double pistols or double hand crossbows or whatever. And I did actually add a new effect, the pocket pistol, which is like a Derringer type multi-barreled pistol.
Cool.
They're a little wimpy, but they actually have multiple shots. They don't have slow firing because they've got multiple barrels. So.
Oh, you put in the random armor templates. Okay.
Yeah, I did random armor. We're caught up with a lot of stuff. We'll move there in a second. But that's Hexslinger. They also have stuff like Quicken Spell, Distant Casting, and some other stuff to reward you for kind of playing a fast and loose, shooty type spellcaster. Their really unique talent is custom reloads. They get to literally make magic ammunition, which adds some stuff, but goes away when you run out of ammo. Necromancer is a kind of a bad guy caster, but also has a lot of, I would say what I called it was minion master type things. Mm-hmm. They excel at, because they get the same ghost talker talent that mediums do, so they can organize ghosts and undeads. They have some abilities that are linked to the Dark Insight ability to use knowledge rules, knowledge outside instead of knowledge rules. And their key things are they have the talent, which is literally called Necromancy, which is like the Druid talent. It lets you, when you conjure, you can always add summon ally without increasing the difficulty, but you must summon an undead using nearby materials. They remain for the rest of the encounter for free without you needing to concentrate. If you spend a story point, your undead minion stays with you for 24 hours, and then after which you must cast Conjure again. But obviously, the materials will still be right there. So that lets you probably keep a bunch of minions around for a day worth of adventuring. Mm-hmm. They also have the Undead Commander ability, which lets you perform Field Commander as a maneuver. And my favorite aspect of this is stolen from the Separatist Commander talent tree, but it's called Lead from the Rear. Which is just once per round, when an enemy tries to hit you with a combat check, you can spend a story point to choose an allied NPC subordinate within short range. So you can literally be like, good luck, I'm behind 1,000 skeletons.
If you have them on formation with you, can't you do that anyway?
Yes, but those rules aren't in this. Those rules aren't reprinted for Genesis. They're not default.
Oh, that's true.
So I figured and also, technically, that only applies to minion groups on you. Lead from the Rear can be any NPC subordinate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you summon like a rival or nemesis like Death Knight type mook, you can totally still use Lead from the Rear to be like, hey. Or if you're playing a Separatist and you have a Magna Guard bodyguard, you can be like, no, that guy gets hit instead of me. Whoop. Fun powers. They also have access to Soul Jar. They can literally Soul Jar themselves.
Phylactery.
Yeah. Whenever you suffer an effect which would kill you, your body collapses into dust instead, and you reformat your Soul Jar in exactly 1 week. Healed of all critical injuries, wounds, or strain, and any ongoing effects.
Wild.
Now, you do leave all your shit behind when you die. So if you're doing this with a party, your friends need to pick up your stuff, otherwise you've lost it. And while you are in a soul jar, while your soul is in a jar, you have to medicine checks to heal you upgrade their difficulty. So I tried to balance it out so it wasn't like a free passive, like, oh yeah, obviously everybody will branch into this class and get a soul jar so they can just be immortal. No, it's like it costs a little bit of money, you have to make a check to set up. If you're trying not to get killed, it's harder, but you can do some funny stuff where you're just like, no, I'm just dead. They also have a very fun one I like called Touch of Death, which lets them do int for brawn, int for brawl checks, for unarmed attacks specifically, and then you gain Pierce and Vicious because you have ghost hands.
Catch these hands, you can't, they're immaterial.
And the last one is Red Hat, which is it's literally kind of split into left and right hand sides. It's got some extra instances of Apothecary and Painkiller specialization. So some good extra healing. It has the Arcane Physician talent, which means if you have at least 1 rank in medicine, you can cast Heal with Arcana, which you can't normally do, but you increase the amount of strain you suffer to cast it by 1. It's very difficult to heal with arcane magic, but you can take this one and kind of do that. And their ultimate ability on this side is Revivify, which is once per session when you incapacitate another character with an Arcana spell, you can choose one character who within short range who has died this encounter and revive them, but then you both take 7 strain. So you can do some kind of miraculous stuff that's not normal with Arcana. It's just tougher. And then the other half is just doubling down on big dick casting.
Oh my god.
They have access to new talents like Channeling and Spiritual Weapon, Lethal Caster. They have the new Pyromania talent, which is great. Do extra damage if you're fighting with a burn weapon. And their signature talents on this side are Double Casting and Improved Double Casting. So regular double casting is once per encounter, you can add the additional target or additional summon effect without increasing your difficulty. So you can get 2 for 1 or more. And then the improved version is once per session, after casting a spell, you can immediately cast another spell as an incidental. You can literally double cast.
That's wild.
Yeah, but that's like a very high level kind of caster. Because it's the Red Hat, the Red Mage. So that's the Prestige classes. And then the other thing, Lucky already mentioned it was... I started going back to additional rules, so we've worked through crafting. Yep. Which is mostly stolen from the Realms of Terranoth crafting rules, but with some slight mods. I changed it so that both items and alchemy are hours in crafting, because the idea that you have to spend a week making a sword is a little extreme.
We're adventurers.
Yeah, plus it's game rules crafting. You literally, like, bang hammer on iron, become sword. It's not supposed to be, like, super complex. Also, I have structures, which take a long fucking time to build, so...
I'm actually looking at these structures, I'm like, I could literally build a fucking town.
Correct, yes. I wanted to do that. The structure list, I think, is done, unless there's suggestions. I need to do spending results and upgrades, but we'll talk about that in a sec. I figure I'll just go down the line. So, crafting is in. I have special results for it. I've changed up some of the rules, because, as usual, Genesis is little...
there's power. Sorry, I'm
Genesis is a little cautious with crafting stuff, even more so than Star Wars already was. So I kind of wobbled that around a little. Like, for them, it was crafting something you can't increase the base damage, soak, or defense. You just couldn't do that. And it was double triumphs to add any one quality other than superior. I made it so it's 1 triumph to improve any quality with your GM's approval, right? Like, so no auto fire longbow on a vanilla crafting check. That's dumb. That doesn't work. But if you want to make a superior longbow, sure. You can also increase the numerical benefits, which, by the way, that's a super great thing I found out. And honestly, we should port over to Star Wars. Spend a triumph to increase, like, make super backpacks.
Like, didn't we, I thought we did make that a rule when we did our whole kerfuffle about...
Not explicitly, but we can definitely add that, too, if you want to, because we haven't done that. Because we did a lot of thinking about crafting, because, like I said, crafting is in some ways super conservative and weirdly limiting and focused. Like, we had this whole conversation about Lucky's thinking about building his lightsaber soon in Star Wars. And you were like, yeah, so I guess I'll build a guard Shoto. There were some guard Shota jokes, but it's Shoto. Because that's the defensive hilt. So I'll build a guard Shoto and I'll add a crossguard. And I'm like, hold on, wait. That's the Tonfa lightsaber. How does that have a crossguard? I don't think that works. And you were just like, okay. And then I looked at the table and I'm like, oh, this is literally a table option. Yeah, this is super dumb. Why did they even call it? Why did they call the guard Shoto the defensive lightsaber? One, you don't even get the deflection and defensive. Well, you could get defensive one, but you don't get the deflection that the guard Shoto has, and you're forced to apply a cross guard to get defense. And I'm like, that's dumb. What if you don't want a cross guard? This is your lightsaber.
Lucky was literally at that point like, all right, so I could literally just grab a regular lightsaber, put this cross guard in, and it's better than the guard Shoto immediately. What is this?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't like that. That's silly. So what we did was basically I said, okay, house rule. You can. I said you could use the options from normal weapon crafting. We can import some of the Genesis ones too. Because if you're crafting a melee weapon or brawl weapon, you can just add deflection or defensive. But for some reason, when you build a lightsaber, you have to give it a crossguard or something weird. It's like, I feel like they were trying to go for some thematic stuff, but they really shouldn't have, because open-ended is better. It lets people design the lightsaber they want, rather than, I'm gonna build a lightsaber tonfa with, 4 vents. Super tonfa. What? What are you doing? So I had some kerfuffle there, but we kind of worked it out.
Yeah, you should probably actually write it down, probably.
Yeah, you can write it down in a thing somewhere.
Yeah, I'll ask you about that later. But, so we did a lot of things, you said, because we also talked about the, if we want to, actually make the perfect lightsaber, because one of the optional rules they have is reforging your lightsaber, in which point it's, you basically use your lightsaber.
Yes, you use the hilt you've already built as the materials.
As half of the materials. You get the other half, and you make another check, and if you get a triumph, you can take one of the qualities over one quality over towards
which you could also just remake with a triumph. It's not very action efficient.
No.
And like I said this at the time we were talking about it, I'm guessing that rule is they're assuming, because it also happens decently enough in movies and TV and stuff, they're assuming that you're breaking your lightsaber a lot. There's a special talent for that, but enemies and players might have that. So I think they're assuming that, okay, this is so that if you fucking Cal Kestis your lightsaber, right, you don't have to literally start from scratch if you're like, wait, but I literally have, most of a lightsaber hilt left here. But it doesn't work for what we were talking about, which is, refining your design. Yeah. I know it sounds like they're trying to go for, a kind of no, embrace your imperfections, but it really feels like it's just, they didn't conceptualize the idea that maybe a character who's good at this, or not even, because you can, there's some alternate rules too, in one version of lightsaber crafting rules, which is much simpler. We're not super heavily borrowing from that one, though, like I said, I think I'm okay with you can spend unlimited triumphs to keep adding hard points if you keep getting triumphs kind of thing. But you can use lore instead of mechanics, which is they're both int, but some of them might be better at lore stuff than mechanic stuff.
Lucky already figured out how he's gonna fucking cheese the fucking system. Gonna take drugs.
Yeah, you're gonna abuse alchemy and drugs.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna fucking mind meld with a fucking camo, because master rank in Battle Med lets you literally share skills.
Yeah, it's great.
So,
you're gonna do some interesting stuff, but no, I'm just thinking that nobody at FFG is thinking that, God forbid, an engineer character would want to iterate, right? This is my first hilt. I built it out of a bike handle. I want to build a better one now.
Nope.
So it's okay, fuck you, I guess. Just take the materials. It's not but what if I like some of my bike handle components? I don't know.
Yeah, no,
I know they're trying to cut down on the cheese, but it's really weird. It's really weird because here's the thing. If they're trying to cut down on the cheese, there's stuff they never ever fixed. Because there's a talent called jury rigging. This lets you reduce the advantage cost to activate any item quality on an item you jury rig when you take the talent. You pick an item, you jury rig it. You can reduce the advantage you need to activate any quality on that by 1. You can do this to auto-fire. Auto-fire is normally 2 advantage, you can make it 1 with jury rig, which is not a hard talent to access. This is a little bullshit, because auto-fire lets you hit infinitely. If you get a superior auto-fire weapon, again, not that hard, just slap a hard point on it, you can literally always get at least 2 hits. And what if you roll lots of advantage? You can get unlimited hits for just a slight difficulty increase, which isn't that big of a deal, because, man, do players really inflate their ability to roll good at stuff. So that was never, ever balanced at all. It is, I believe, I'd have to double check. I don't think jury rigging is a talent anymore in Genesis, because Genesis had a lot of general balance improvements. Like I've said this before. All those talents, which are like, take this talent, pick a skill. You now add that much damage to all your ranged light attacks. Good job. All those talents have been thrown out, which is good because that is something I've noticed. We're already starting to see it with a couple of our characters. Is when you can take those talents, you get a lot of damage inflation, which is very hard for your GM to balance sometimes. So I'm glad Genesis kind of cuts those out. So, but yeah, I don't know why they get so weird about player end breaking of things, but they've never done anything to address some of the things they made that are broken. I don't know. It's weird. But that's what your GM is for, to look at these rules and go like,
this print is cute. I will retweet.
And just be like, yeah, no, I'm gonna do this slightly differently because I understood both sides of it. Like on the one hand, I was like, okay, I even said this. Lucky wants literally everything, and somebody has to tell him to stop. But
yeah, no, Lucky agrees to this.
Also, sometimes the rules are overly restrictive because I literally had my player go, hey, GM, I'm looking at the rules. How the fuck do I do the thing I want to do? And I'm like, that's no goo either. That means the rules don't do the work. I have to do the work. So I did the work, as it happens. But yeah, so I tried to smoothline some of that, importing the crafting rules to GenSekai, which are basically, and there's 2 charts, crafting weapons, armor, gear, and then crafting potions with alchemy.
Yeah,
pretty simple stuff.
That's something we haven't gotten into Star Wars yet.
Yeah, honestly, the system in Realms of Terranoth and GenSekai is way easier because it's just a normal-ass crafting check, just with specific elements. And honestly, they did a very good, generic way. It's like, the literal rule to understand how to craft something is you calculate the raw materials are equal to half the cost of the item, roughly.
Mm-hmm.
And then the difficulty of the crafting check is the rarity divided by 2, rounding up. So if you have a rarity 4 item, that's an average to build.
Okay.
And that means if you have a rarity 0 item, it's a simple check to build. Because you can't round 0 up. But if it is rarity 1, it stays at easy. But yeah, so that's literally every item is that much. And then the crafting time is 1 hour plus a number of hours equal to the rarity of the item. In Realms of Terranoth, this was 1 day plus the rarity in days, which would be a little dog shit.
Hey, Omega.
What's up?
Omega, I want you to add instructors. I want you to add bathhouse.
I've been thinking about that. I don't know. That might be an upgrade. So there's some upgrades I haven't gotten yet.
Okay.
One of them will be like luxury quarters. I'm trying to think, should recreation be in there? What would that even do? I'll workshop it. The list isn't necessarily done.
I mean, it's an adventure. You could just literally have casino or gambling hall.
Yeah, I've been thinking about like recreation or something, but like a bathhouse standalone might work. That could also be
I'm sorry, like thinking about like, because it says,
oh no, this is an anime-ass setting. That totally works.
Yeah, no, and as in the isekai, I have seen many an MC go absolute ape shit until they make a fucking onsen or a bathhouse. And I'm totally on board with that. Lucky has never been to a hot spring, but he totally wants to, and he's gonna rep hot springs his entire life. Just wait, he's gonna get a fucking spell just to make instant hot springs.
But yeah, so that's the crafting. Next, I did something what I thought was very appropriate, right, is random loot qualities, random loot templates. Because, mods are cool. And this isn't necessarily completely replace weapon mods, right? That's if you, buy or build a sword, and you're like, okay, but now I want my sword to be sharp and on fire.
Well,
okay, cool.
Here's the thing, honestly, because you don't have a extensive mod list, the fact that you can have them out of different materials and just have, like, a fucking not even random, because you actually said you can't actually enchant them with certain things.
Yeah, I said that it's hard, and you have to have a magic skill to do it, which has its own restrictions. But yes, you can literally go, hey, I want to apply, I want to literally aim to make armor that has, say, the amphibious quality.
Yeah, so this honestly actually, even though you have less mods, you've actually unlocked more capabilities, because now you have the magic modifier, you have the material, and then you still have hard parts. I think only most weapons get 1 or 2, if I remember right.
Now I do say enchanting should use up at least 1 hard point just to prevent you from going apeshit, because you can.
Yeah, but
your GM has final say on how many modifiers, but normally you're supposed to be able to stack up to 3 templates.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of balance and there's a little bit of wiggle room, and your GMs can be like, No, you can't have a sword that is also thunder and fire. What's wrong with you? No, you can't have a collapsing giant sword. Don't be dumb. Like, your GM has to do that, but you could have a collapsing extending sword.
Oh,
that
shit.
could work.
Holy Grand Superior. I might have to relook at my, at Porter's eventual, Great Axe. Do I want a Holy Great Axe? Yeah, I do. Hang on, let me pull up Porter here. I think I wrote it down.
But yeah, so this is, and it's a random chart. It's technically got 150 results, because I couldn't be contained. There's 30 results. They're 5% of the time. And what I say is that your GM, if they're randomly rolling what kind of loot you got, should, like, add modifiers to flatten the curve one way or another, or enable high results, or enable low results. And to get these yourself, there's two ways. One, Lucky already brought it up. You can make a daunting magic skill check to pick the intended effect, if it makes sense to apply the item you're trying to enchant, and your GM approves the effect. The other is, while crafting an item, you can spend 3 advantage or 1 triumph to give it a random effect as a byproduct, and if you can spend a further triumph or 3 advantage, you can add a plus 10 or minus 10, so you can hunt for certain effects. You can be like, oh, I want to make sure I don't get a venomous sword. I'll give myself a minus 10, which can, squishes you towards the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And these were heavily influenced by the weapon templates in the Secrets of the Crucible, the Keyforge book, which it's a really great system, because it's just like, okay, here's your basic ranged weapon template. Now pick a bunch of other templates to modify the cost. I decided to do this with random magic, some of which I used outright, some of which I changed the name, some of which I made up on my own. Like, for instance, what I call armored gained reinforced was adaptive to them, because it was like, ooh, it's a weapon that can, like, heal and resist damage. I was like, nah, that's too sci-fi. It's just an armored weapon. If you get an armored longsword, your longsword is tough. It won't be breaking.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got qualities like, you can get something that's blunted, does stun damage, but does extra damage. Clockwork is a fun one. You reduce the critical rating by 1. You do plus 3 damage, and it gains plus 1 encumbrance, but it has prepare 2, so you gotta set it up. It's Clockwork. In Keyforge, there's a resource called Amber. There's an AE in there. It's weird. They write it with a weird thing. So that doesn't fly in GenSekai, so I came up with a different system, which is usually spend a maneuver to activate that quality.
Mm-hmm.
So, for instance, the Thundering quality adds plus 2 damage, and you can spend a maneuver to add Concussive 1 and knockdown to your next attack with the weapon. So, gets into your action economy a little bit, but still pretty good. One of my favorite picks was Slayer. That's all me. It's just basically you pick an enemy type. Dragon is the first one, that's why I said that. The weapon gains accurate 1, vicious 1 against those creatures. So just a little, that's a very classic high fantasy type feel to a weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And all of these, by the way, they have qualities which stack. I deliberately call this out, so, like, be careful if you pick up a bloodthirsty longbow. Sure, you get plus 2 damage, and vicious 2, but the unwieldy will stack, so you get an unwieldy 6 weapon.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah. And then, so Lucky had already seen the weapon ones. I believe that night I went back and did most of the armor ones.
Yeah, no, I saw them. I read them while you were talking about something.
Probably crafting. So there's a lot of fun ones in here. You can get amphibious armor. I talked about it. You can get animated armor, anti-magic armor. That includes beneficial spellcasting checks, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is, I don't know why they called it Armageddon, but it was called Armageddon in Keyforge, but I called it Angel armor.
Mm-hmm.
As an incidental, you can choose to heal all wound, strain, and critical injury, and it does this automatically if you die, but the effect can only be used once and then is lost. So, classic RPG, 1 auto-revive type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty fun. There's a lot of... How they treated some of these was very interesting. So some of them, it was like giving armor defensive or deflection qualities, like improving only your melee or range defense. But I liked them enough to keep them in. Some of them can get stuff. One of them I did title Sexy.
I laughed at that one, actually.
That's something I retitled, but it was still get it 1 boost on charm checks.
This is your bikini armor, yo.
Mm-hmm. You can also get, silent armor to add to stealth checks, keen mind armor to add to discipline checks. Enhanced armor adds a boost to all brawn or agility-based checks. I expect that'll be popular. You can get armor that's insulated. You can get armor of leaping, winged armor to fly. And that was a pretty fun one. I think those are set. Those aren't going anywhere. There's 30 of them. I think it's good. And then we got to the big one, which we talked about earlier, which is structures and strongholds. So this is not really anywhere in Genesis yet. I don't know if it will be. The next book I think they're working on Genesis should be the Twilight Imperium book. I expect the mass combat rules will be reprinted there, and probably some more space shit. But I don't know if they're going to get to like bases and stuff. So this is the section that covers bases, and I've been working on it off and on for the past couple of days there. But the basic outline of the rules is it's got a check, you need to pay a material cost, or find them some other way. The material cost assumes some of the labor and some of the materials, because obviously while a player should probably make the check, and I will have a chart of spending results eventually, that's in my list of things to do, you are still probably not building most of these things alone. It's just kind of like somebody needs to make the check to make sure it gets built right, or maybe even make sure to see if it gets built even better, you know? Because there'll be positive results. You basically treat them as vehicles with speed 0, right? They have silhouette, they can have armor, hull trauma, and defense. They don't have any system strain. They can be very expensive, but they let you kind of set down a place and invest. You can also just pay the cost and hunt for a certain rarity, like if you're just going real estate buying. Now, I will warn you, if you want to just buy a castle, that's going to be a, like, rarity 10 check.
Who just has a castle for sale?
Exactly. That's why it's rarity 10. It's going to be a hard find. And it's going to be really expensive, but you can try it. And a lot of these come with NPCs who have some rough guidelines on their stats, which is they have 2 in all characteristics, 1 in any skill that is linked to the structure, because I borrowed from some Star Wars stuff. Some of these structures let you pick skills to add as career skills. And then if they have an important characteristic or skill, it's listed in their listing. Like, for instance, if you build a library, it comes with an NPC librarian who has Intellect 3 and 2 ranks in all knowledge skills. So there's... I did a nice mix and match. There's a couple that don't have a cost. They're literally just you build them on your own. We start with the campsite. It's an easy check. It takes an hour. You don't even really need to do this, but because I had my hardcore survival rules, I felt that was important to establish what the difficulty and timeline of setting up a proper campsite is. Because there are actually rules about that.
Hey, Meg, I see you have a library, but I see you have no school or college.
Well, yeah, no.
No?
What does that do? It's all about mechanics. The library is like, okay, you can use this to research.
I guess that's fair.
And technically, the training hall is mostly about combat skills, that still has talks about training adventurers or craftsmen. You could fluff it other ways. And I'm still open-ended to stuff. I'm just trying to... A lot of these are mechanically modeled on things that existed in Star Wars that were easy to port over. Some of them are original ideas, like I just made up the warehouse. In one day, you can throw up a barn or a warehouse and hold 1,000 encumbrance worth of items. Yay.
Yay.
And technically, the market, for instance, that was interpolated because you can hire an NPC merchant for a homestead. But I was like, okay, but we're going to make it building a marketplace. So you can have vendors who can buy and sell stuff. So, yeah, like I said, there's a lot of the common stuff in there. There's a lot of stuff linked to skills and abilities. The core ones are probably shop or tavern or homestead. Those are kind of like the Star Wars ones. They give you profit regularly. A business, like a shop or tavern, is more profitable than a homestead, but they have different applicability, right? Because a homestead is actually a comfortable home for people and has extra land for doing resource gathering. It gives you different selection of career skills, whereas a shop or tavern has, different stuff, which you should be familiar with because business. And then the guild hall roughly models kind of the equivalent of the rebel base type effect. It doesn't have as many hard and fast mechanics, but fluff-wise, it's a much more secured location where you can literally be like, okay, and now we can take quests and have adventurers meetings here. So that's a little bit bigger and more expensive. The really big thing, the biggest thing so far is the keep. That's the most expensive, takes the longest, but that's literally, you've built a small castle or a really, a mansion, which has, high-grade rooms. It's pretty tough in case of a siege kind of thing. And if you want to build a castle, you should probably build a keep and then 4 walls and probably 4 towers.
Yeah.
But you can, you don't even have to go all the way to castle. You could build a homestead and then build 4 walls and you have a walled compound. Yay. Kind of works out. There's a lot of different stuff, like there's an infirmary, as you'd expect. Comes with healers and healing. There's a laboratory, so you can craft and research alchemy. I did make sure to put there is options to build temples and enchanters towers for wizards and priests to show up.
You're thinking of doing anything for first spellcasters, like maybe an opera house or a singer or something? Or,
yeah, I've been trying to think about how to phrase that.
Like, I wouldn't say necessarily an opera house. Well, actually, it could be. It could just be a theater.
I could call it theater or music hall or something and come up with some stuff. Because some of these I branched out a little bit. Like, I based some of the outline for like the stockade on the fact that you can buy a like an enhanced prisoner lockup in ship mods. So there's still a little diversity, and like I said, I don't know whether or not like you suggested bathhouse that should probably be on there in one form, but I'm not sure if that's an upgrade or a standalone structure. Probably should be standalone. I can work on it. I haven't done the upgrade list yet.
You mentioned mechanics. I'm like, what would I give like a fucking bath? Maybe increased strain recovery?
Yeah, probably. It would probably be something like, or increased strain threshold while you're there, because you can rest and relax more.
Yeah. Okay.
Because basically, structures usually have one of three effects. One is narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you have a stockade. You have a jail. You can throw people in jail. Cool.
Yay.
One is it lets you do things. So, for instance, if you have, like I said, a laboratory, you can do alchemy checks without needing to actually say, hey, BT dubs, I've bought an alchemy kit and I'm carrying it with me. No, you just go to your alchemy lab. And it gives you extra advantage because safety features. And then the other thing is they can give you boost dice or other modifiers on certain checks. So, like, the war room gives you boosts to leadership and vigilance. And the training hall lets you, if you spend an hour in the training hall a day, you can add a boost to combat checks. And I'm going to have a sidebar after I'm done with this talking about basically siege warfare and how to handle that. I don't think I'm going to full-blown port the mass combat rules. I thought about that. I think instead the way to handle it is treat it like a vehicle combat, where basically the people on the ground are the crew of the structure. Siege weapons and siege engines are probably small vehicles in their own right. Or who knows, you might have a coastal fortress and actually be fighting boats. And then if people, like, engage with, like, ladders or, like, break through, that's a personal scale encounter, almost like if you did a boarding action kind of thing.
Yeah, I was like, I'm guessing that defensive upgrades are going in the upgrades.
Yes.
Like, cannon, pots of boiling water, or oil, or stuff like that.
Yeah, there will be... So what in Star Wars is usually one blanket giant enhanced security upgrade will probably be broken out into like 3 or 4 different upgrades.
Neat.
Which will give you options for some stuff. And also you'll be able to improve the defensiveness of certain structures when you build them. Like you might be able to go like, oh, I can go +1 defense on this thing, or I can increase its hull threshold, or oh, it doesn't have a hull threshold yet, which a lot of the buildings don't, because they're honestly not really built to take a lot of punishment. If you fire a catapult at a small cottage home, the catapult wins. Unless you are crazy lunatic adventurers who have developed your cottage to be catapult-proof, which could happen.
I mean, I don't know. Porter, like, I've literally, one of the only things I've done with Porter recently is I literally made a fucking spell of he just makes a fucking house.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, actually, yeah, I'll read it out real quick. So the spell is named, let me actually sit up here. I was leaning back. I don't know if people can probably tell. So the spell is, home is where I lay my head upon the earth, because it's a divine spell and I want it to be fucking wordy. Let's see, what did I actually write for the... Yeah, I'll just write this out. It's an alteration spell gifted by Porter by the Scions Vern, Purple, and Mallard for efforts rendered and protecting lands. It allows Porter to construct a temporary stone house from the land he stands upon. The house contains a main room with a large fireplace, kitchen area, wash area, and several bedrooms. Each room contains basic furniture such as wooden tables, chairs, and chairs, as well as furs to cover floors, windows, and bed. Unfortunately, nothing can be stored in the house between summoning, meaning firewood, water, and food must be brought in from the outside. To invoke this gift, Porter must draw a square on the ground with his foot and stomp within it 3 times, each invoking Verna, Mir's, and Palpo's name in turn. He must then give a prayer asking for shelter. Actually, yeah, so if I was just to use that spell, like, how much would, like, the amount of, like, what is it, is it hardness and wound threshold? What is it for structures?
It's hull trauma, because it's basically
hull trauma.
Equals.
Hull trauma. Like, could I affect the amount of hull trauma in a building a house like that? with the spell?
Yeah, possibly, because that'll be under the additional effects. Basically, how I would rule that is that would be a hard difficulty check, because that's what it's like to build a homestead.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you've got a roughly similar idea. It just instead of it taking 30 days, it maybe takes 30 minutes of chanting or whatever, and it will go away, obviously, because it's not a permanent structure.
No.
So, yeah, it kind of balances out. And if you wanted to modify that, that would probably be on basically the structure result chart and be like, hey, can I give this a little bit of sturdiness?
Okay. Well, because you mentioned, PCs making their house catapult-proof. I'm just like, my immediate thought is, can I?
Yeah, some of that stuff's not out yet, and we can maybe circle back to this with probably a more final list next week. But yeah, I'm in the process of doing that out. I don't. Well, actually, I kind of know why, because that feels like a very high-level, classic RPG kind of trope to upgrade to having your own base, right?
Well, yeah.
And it's a common thing you see in, say, like, computer RPGs. Like, think about, like, Dragon Age, right? Like, you have...
Yeah.
In the first one, not so much, though you do have your little campsite. But in, 2 and Inquisition, you have, your base of operations, eventually your nice house in 2, and then in Inquisition, you have the, Inquisition Keep, eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's a pretty classic trope, so this was to have elements of that. And like you said, theoretically, you could use this to, like, build your own frontier town. Because it says that you can, like, theoretically stack buildings together.
Oh, yeah, like, I can totally see yourself like, yes, this is my keep, but it also has an enchanter's tower and a laboratory for reasons. We're going mad scientists, y'all.
Yeah. Another example was so you can build 2 towers and then build a wall between them. If you want to dig a trench, which, like, for instance, like I said, you could make a walled compound. You also don't even have to go that far. You could build a trench and basically say it's like a berm of dirt, a dirt wall that surrounds it. There you go. You've got a very basic bitch compound.
Hey.
And, you can run them together if you want. Or you could be like, okay, so we have a homestead. We have a farm. Let's build a barn. Boom. Done. Now we can store our shit. Or, like I said, you could go completely apeshit and build a keep, and then build all this stuff into it, assuming it makes sense. Because, like, there is a boathouse, for instance, which you can use to store and repair boats, but that needs to be on water. It even says this can only be built on the water. You have to actually be connected to water so you can do boat stuff. You can also get a stable and carriage house to hold mounts or carts. Comes with a driver who can help you. A lot of these come with helpful NPCs, like I said. I think the only outright stat line that isn't covered is there's no... Other than the fact that theoretically a priest or a wizard could use their magic as an offensive manner, there are no free combative stats. You can build a barracks or a training hall to host and train soldiers, but they don't necessarily magically get NPC profiles, which are better than normal. You'd probably use like some default like town guard type minion stats or something, which will probably be somewhere in the adversaries or allies section, which I will probably be working out next after I get through all the additional rules. I think that's the only really big thing left is NPC stat lines and stuff. And then it's done. And then it needs to be playtested.
Honestly, I keep saying this with adversaries, but honestly, like, I don't think you actually necessarily need to work on your adversaries, like, immediately. Like, I'm pretty sure you can develop those in play, like, especially if
I can, but also I need them to start with. Like, if I don't know what a goblin is.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, like, it's not super difficult, but it is something where I'm like, no, I have a few ideas for some specific adversaries I should at least build for scaling, right? Like, and have some examples, because this is meant to be read by other people. So it's like, okay, what's a skeleton? It's probably not going to be complex. They're probably going to have ones in everything, and have, like, melee and ranged as minion skills, and have, like, a short bow and a sword. Probably not even a sword, probably like a cutlass, so it doesn't even have a defensive. But, they exist, so you always know, hey, what's my most basic bitch enemy? Skeletons, boom.
I don't know if you could hear it like he was making teeth clacking noises.
Yeah. Spooky skeleton noises.
Yep. Hey, we're on track for the skeleton war, y'all.
Mm-hmm. And, and some of these will also have furthermore fluff levels to them, like actually describing some of them. The noteworthy allies and stuff is meant to be yet another, because they also, in some of the Genesis and Star Wars books, they do this weird thing of like, oh, so this section is called adversaries, but it also contains, like, rebel NPCs. So, yeah. And I'm like, that's a little weird, calling them adversaries, but they are statted as quote-unquote adversaries, so. Star Wars' big collection book, which is called Allies and Adversaries, honestly makes it better. But yeah, so there will be some, like, notable NPCs you can rely on for stuff. that have outlines and fluff, positive and negative, etc. But yeah, that's about that. We're at about an hour and 30.
Yay! I should write more spells order.
So I think I talked about most of my GenSekai workings. We also talked a lot about Star Wars stuff we're thinking of. I'm slowly catching up on the Star Wars APs. Please go listen and watch. Watch and listen.
Did anything of note really happen last AP that we could talk about? No.
No, you're still doing space stuff. We're working on it.
We're still doing space stuff.
It'll be an interesting saga once I start posting them, because that current arc is not posted yet, but will be soon. I'm going to start working on that tomorrow and posting. Though speaking of tomorrow, we should probably bring that up, because not only are we playing Star Wars, but it will be your birthday.
It will be my birthday. Yeah,
and you are planning on streaming that day, too. A little
I have no idea.
Stream.
I don't know what I'm going to stream, but I'll stream something.
He'll figure it out.
As long as I'm not dead from putting fence stuff. That's my only concern.
Hey, it happens sometimes. You could always do a belated birthday stream.
I could.
It's your birthday. Do what you want.
I am going to do what I want.
Oh, I was checking the analytics, right?
Analytics.
I was double checking. Okay, well, they're not doing super great, but I feel like the last couple APs did slightly uptick in views.
Not much. Them.
Not much, though. But yes, keep watching. Do stuff. Whatever. Listen to more APs. They're cool. I know they take a long time, though. I get it, but also, like I said, I find time to do stuff. And we'll probably find time to listen to more stuff while playing Ghost of Tsushima. I even found time to listen to stuff while still doing an occasional pop-in with Fall Guys, which we are still playing sometimes.
Yeah, no, our last stream did okay. We didn't really have many people, but you popped in. We had fun.
Yeah. Like view-wise, all the Fall Guys streams are doing okay. But we definitely, I feel like that third stream, the last one that we ended up doing together, excuse me, that felt like it had smaller numbers of very burpy, sorry. Smaller numbers of concurrent viewers than usual. Though we did have drive-bys by some randos, so it was weird. Who knows? Maybe YouTube's stats were slow tracking.
Yeah, I don't know. That reminds me, I still need to fix the transparent text in my stream.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're trying out some new stream tech.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said, Lucky will eventually break out into VTubing, and he'll have all the cool setup shit. He's just gotta work there one step at a time. Like he's deciding if he just wants to be an angry tire rabbit or a cute femboy rabbit. Who knows? Who knows?
It'll work out.
It'll work.
But yeah, we're working on new technology.
Mm-hmm.
Such as our channel memberships. Join button at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's right. Lucky.
Go ahead.
Actually, Mega mentioned it many times during the stream, and a couple times during the recording yesterday, but we do have YouTube memberships active now. You can now subscribe for the lovely low price of $1.99 and get access to sweet emotes such as the Doot of Tyranny, just known as Boot, the Boot of Tyranny, also just known as Boot, the What Face, I might actually have to redo that one, and the Wow Face.
Nah, I like what? Just
Yeah, no, I think I'm gonna move it over so the rest of the ear actually shows up.
That's fair. Do some remodeling.
Yeah. Also, I feel like the boot's a little small, but I'm not sure how I want to fix that. I'm pretty sure if I make it bigger, as long as you might be able to still tell it's a boot. Personally, my favorite is the Doot of Tyranny. It's just Tyranny Rabbit going to town on a fucking saxophone. Or some sort of saxophone analogy. I can't draw instruments.
I mean, I also don't think it matters. It's emote-sized, and you get the point because it's called Doot.
No, literally I only made emotes because last Monday I was a little sad because at that point JP Summer 5 had dropped, and that's all anyone wanted to talk about, as it is with JP events. So Lucky and a few others were just sit alone over in NA with the EN version, just being like, I'm just gonna doot my horn very sadly and y'all send some positive vibes. And thankfully, many people during Mailbag did send positive vibes. I super appreciate them. But look, he was like,
we totally forgot that you said to send positive vibes. It's very funny.
But that got me thinking. It's all like, we have a Liz dude. Can I make a Tyranny dude? And I opened up Clip, and I was like, yes, I can make a Tyranny dude. I was like, all right, cool, that's another emote then. What else would I like? At which point, I think I went to go yell at somebody, as Lucky does, and threaten death and destruction upon them and theirs. I was like, oh yeah, I can make a boot emote. Let's make something. Yeah, let's put a bunny in a boot and just make it mad. And I made that.
The angry boot.
Angry boot. I think I'm gonna make that bigger. It just feels weird to me. And then for the last two, I was still making it was like, all right, what do I say a lot that might use a face? And it was what and wow. Yes, it's what spelled W-A-T and wow spelled W-A-O. Yes, someone has said they are waiting for Comrade Tyranny, which is gonna be just Tyranny Rabbit with some sort of Russian hat. I don't know if I can actually do a good Russian accent. I was listening to myself earlier and I was like, yep, nope, still sounds weird to me. So what did I do? What did I think? Wait, that ain't my Russian accent. I can't really see. Lucky can't do voices on command. He has to just do them naturally, otherwise they don't flow. But yes, Lucky will do Comrade Rabbit, and it will be good. We were talking a lot about Comrade Rabbit yesterday when I was hanging out with Comrade Dog. Oh my peach. Okay, actually, this peach mango bang is a lot tastier than I thought because I finished it and I didn't even realize.
Nice. So in general, we've got some slight speculation on Hololive and AL collab stuff.
Oh, they're gonna do
because a lot of people are still bemoaning the fact that it was a collab that happened already, and
at the time, no one cared.
Yeah, at the time, super nobody cared. We were like, literally who? But and I think all those girls that were there are in our first gen.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the first gen, yeah.
Yeah, so it was very, very early. But the thing is that they don't usually rerun collabs that are with other properties. That's the same for like Girls Frontline, Azur Lane, I assume Arknights. Like, they just don't do that so much. It's not very common, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, now that we're 5 generations of Hololive in, and they've really blown up this year, a lot of people are sad because they missed the collab. And we're not sad. We are actually very mwahaha, funny about it.
Yeah, Lucky has all the ships.
You have all of them. I think I missed out on like one, but I might have all. I don't know. I haven't actually checked because I'm never looking at Azur Lane when this conversation comes up.
You're playing Arknights right now.
I was earlier, but I had to go plug my phone in. I'm farming Chippos because I've decided that I really want to E2 some more units, and my Defenders and Ami are at the top of that list. I think I have 3-starred all the double chip missions, so I can do all those. I was able to scrape up enough Prime coins to buy Lisgarm's costume. Yay.
Nice.
It's very, very cool. And I've gotten the costume for the special treasure coins to just do some gacha check-in. But yeah, with Azur Lane, also I completely bungled it. I completely missed the timing, so I didn't get Hermione. It's fine. They'll add her back in later. What I've learned strongly with Azur Lane is that other than collab ships, nothing is impermanent. Everything's gonna come back in some way or another, except those collab ships. You guys are fucked. Know my pain, Hololive simps. I never got all the Kizuna eyes I wanted.
So, speaking of Azur Lane and on Advent of Infinity, Lucky wasn't really, Lucky told himself something. I had 150 cubes, and I was like, I really don't care about these ships. But, I can get, where I am right now, I have all of them but one, and the other two are in, I think one was in, I didn't have two of them, but one was in the shop, Hermione,
yes.
And the other one was 10k. So I told myself, okay, if I can get to 10k before this event goes out, I'll throw half the fucking cubes I have for Perseus, because that was the one I didn't have. I had all the rest of them. I had Valiant and Hal. I had Valiant and Hal. Then Hermione and Perseus were the other two, but you can get Hermione in the shop. So I actually surprised myself. I actually was able to get to the end of the event. I cleared D3. I don't think I got any of the extra scenes, because Azur Lane is weird sometimes. Sometimes you'll finish an event and you technically haven't finished the event. You need to go through the map a couple more times so you can get the last few scenes. It's weird. I don't get it sometimes, but that's how they do. But so I got there and I'm like, okay, so I got Hermione, I got the 10k ship. I don't even fucking know her name. But I was like, I was having a moment because immediately, I mean literally immediately after the new Royal Navy event, they're rerunning Scherzo of Iron and Blood. The event.
Bismarck's coming back, but I've already
Bismarck.
got her and her costume. I'm great.
Yeah, no, me too.
You won't siphon any more of my money today, Azur Lane. I'm on to you. Oh, actually, I think that's still running. But did you get Indy's costume from the little bonus shop they did yet?
Oh yeah, no, I've been like I said, I'm.
Oh yeah, actually, you probably would have because you were hard farming gems on story maps. That's right.
Yeah,
which is where you get those sweet, sweet feather points.
Yep. But so at first I wasn't gonna care that much about the rerun because I already had Bismarck. But then there's like, all right, there's gonna be 2 new ships. I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Aren't they all subs though?
No, one's a destroyer.
One's a destroyer.
One's a sub. Yeah.
That is important. I do think I scaled up some cubes to get some other points anyway, so I should probably double check that. It happens.
But so I was all like, my luck ain't that great. I don't want to spend all my cubes, but I didn't have to because I only finished the event 5 minutes before maintenance started, and I could only get through I only had enough coins for 3 full 10 spins, so I only spent 60 of my cubes anyway, and I still had 60 cubes left. I was like, all right, I guess this is what's gonna happen. But as things should be, Iron Blood completely and utterly favors me, and I got both the new ships in single temple, so I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fucking good. All I need is 1. This is the thing I like about Azur Lane the most, is you can limit break things with, actually needing extra copies of the exact same ship.
Fuck, I've got so many bullets, I'm spending them on ships I'm not even supporting because I haven't squished them all the way to, level, what's the max one? 70, I think you gotta be to do the break to 100?
Yeah.
I'm literally having to get rid of, purple bullets because they give us so many.
Yeah, but even though they give us so many, I'm still super appreciative of that.
Oh, no, it's great. I love it. I'm not saying to stop. I'm just saying that, no, they're so generous with them.
Yeah, so, once I get 1 copy of a shit, I'm fine. I'm good. I'm happy. I don't need any more. Because I'll just pump
honestly, you know what?
Later.
Usually, if I roll 2 copies of the same ship right away, I usually go ahead and retire the second one because you can't use them right away. Because you have to actually start leveling the ship to be able to spend dupes.
Yep. So, yeah, so everything's good. I was able to finally finish buying the rest of what is it? Was it literally Bismarck House?
I believe, it is Bismarck House.
Yeah. Last event I wasn't able to get it all, but now Lucky has literally committed to 100% Iron Blood 100% of the time. So I haven't been buying any more dorm outfits and stuff. So I think how many fucking... Wait, I'm in Arknights. Why am I trying to look for fucking Azur Lane dorms in Arknights? That's dumb. You shouldn't do that, Lucky. I'll open up Arknights. Oh, Azur Lane on the side here, though. But then also Lucky was thinking, I got 6 fucking rings and they're not doing anything. And that's probably not the best. Fun fact about oath rings. Oath rings, when you actually oath a ship, they get another 3% stat increase. Mm-hmm. And their affinity tops at 200.
Yep. And also, if they have an oath skin, they get free skin.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, luckily, Lucky doesn't normally use oath skins if they don't have a skin because, Lucky wants to see them in that wedding dress. But I'm like, no, I should probably actually put them on all the 120 ships I have and maybe more I plan on using. So, Lucky did, because, believe it or not, he has several ships at 120. Not a fuck ton, because, as I said, he's Iron Blood all day, every day, so he usually mains his 120 Iron Blood fleet.
That's one way to do it.
But, yeah, so I oathed Bismarck, Tirpitz, Graf Zeppelin, Rune, Leipzig, Z23, who did just get,
23 just got a skin.
Yeah, just got an oath skin.
Which, other than Prince, who is, I think, too early to do this, I feel like we've started. It started with, FDG, but, they've started doing, Dark Wedding themes for Iron Blood, which is super cool.
I
already have an oath on Prince, because she got a skin. But please, Azur Lane, if you're listening, I do have a ring left over I haven't spent. I had 2 when you started talking about this, so I gave one to Belfast. I was like, okay, Belfast, you've earned it. The only reason why I didn't do it last time is because I just got her free Pocky skin, and I was like, okay, we already got a free skin. Hold on, let's not shower you in too many. But I'm actually shocked there aren't a lot of Iron Bloods other than Prince, who was really new. Is FTG the only priority ship that has one?
Yeah.
I think so. Out of the Iron Bloods,
it's just Prince, Z23, and Frederick de Grosse.
Mm-hmm. Only 3. Hey, you could throw a little love there, because I also have an Iron Blood fleet, which includes Graf, Bismarck, and Tirpitz. And I have bought Bismarck and Tirpitz's formal dresses, so, and Graf's summer, so. If you could help me out here with some themes, guys. Anyway.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, so, yeah, like, so yeah, I have 8 Ironblood Oath ships. So it was the 6, or I mentioned earlier, plus Prince Eugen and Frederick the Gross. So yes, I can literally have an entire standard fleet of Oathed Ironblood, and that drives me wild. I think what I'm gonna do is once my Ironblood ships hit 120, I'm gonna give them a ring if I have one, because they probably use. But let's see here, my U-81, who's a small, so I might feel a little weird about giving her a ring, but she's 119. Zed, also known as Z23, is 116, but she has a skin, so I'm like, no, take it, put that dress on for me. Oh god, that just reminds me. At the beginning of the last event, I can't remember the name of it to save my life because that's how little I cared about it. But they brought back Justagram.
Yeah, Justagram for the second anniversary. I can check in on that today, actually.
And Justagram is great because it's literally just a social media with the ships, and you just get to make a comment as the commander. And one of the latest ones is literally Bismarck riding on a giant tuna, and the response. Yeah, no, that was yesterday's. Today's it's Honolulu getting attacked by tentacles because it's motherfucking Honolulu.
Correct. Which I don't think I ever got Honolulu. I got upside down Italian Honolulu.
Ah, yes.
But because I got all of the pizza fleet complete. I think I have full pizza and vodka. That's just what we call it, by the way. Pizza vodka.
Pizza vodka.
When will those guys get some fucking oath skins, huh?
But for the Bismarck one, there's a response at the bottom. And because apparently the fish is like some new armament, to be some marine camouflage. And my response, I'm like, is this what you use all the research fund for? And Akashi, whose handle is Akashi2Han, says, we're serious about this, Nya. It might look city, but so do sending ship girls in wedding dresses into battle, Nya. And I'm just like, oh, that burns. Oh, that fucking burns. Akashi don't fucking play. It made me laugh so hard. I think there was another one where Akashi made a joke, if you have something, Akashi has wares or something. Whoever's doing this, they know the memes. Mm-hmm. They know how. They know how to clap back. Ah, yes, here it is. Akashi has intel if you have coin.
Akashi,
but no,
she knows.
No, but I love the Justagrams because I always like the little slice of life stuff that they can do. Because as serious as Azur Lane tries to be, it never sticks with me. It never sticks with me. Like with all the events and stuff, I'm just like, okay, cool events, yay, but I don't actually know where you're going with this story ever. Like with the last event, it's like, all right, the Ironblood is being bad, but they're not because they're not trying to fuck up the sirens, and they're not, but maybe they're fucking up something else. I'm just like, there's too much.
It's a little confusing, yeah.
It's a little confusing, so mostly I focus on the little slice of life stuff that you usually get in mini events and Justagram.
Because most story events in Azur Lane boil down to, here is the anime version of a real-life World War II theater for 3 maps, and then suddenly sirens, mirror sea, space aliens, tentacles,
pew, 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 pew,
laser beams, and then you're done, and nothing actually changes or happens because the story can't actually move forward, I guess.
And Ironblood loses, and I cry. Heck. So actually, that's why I'm actually kind of excited that, I don't know if they've done any more on that, but they say they're going to be animating, what do they call it again? Full Slow Ahead. It's basically a slice of life Azur Lane comic. They actually started translating it into England and posting it on Twitter. It's really good. It's really funny. Some of the art is spicy. Super spicy. It's great. And if that's getting an anime adaptation, I think that's going to go over way better than whatever the fuck they tried to do with the Azur Lane anime. I still don't understand it. I really don't.
Well, I mean, I don't want to throw too many stones at the Azur Lane anime, right? Like I said, in the first couple episodes, they made way more understanding of the plot than Azur Lane itself ever did. But
then it starts going to...
They're still severely hobbled by the fact that the generic-ass Azur Lane plot is generic and not very good.
No. Oh, Jesus, I'm already fucking 36% through Odin's first data combat collection. Fuck.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm still working on Rune. I should have some more. I haven't actually checked back on that. I just haven't unlocked any bonus catch-up EXPs in a while. Hold on. How long have we going? Just under 2 hours. Fuck it. I'll open up Azur Lane right now. I'll check on some stuff. My emulator is set to be quiet. I should log in today anyway.
Where am I?
Hopefully my emulator is still set to be quiet. I have been having weirdness with my audio. If you suddenly hear a very loud Azur Lane, I'm sorry. It should probably be fine though, because it's not a system setting. It's in BlueStacks.
But let's see here. I just gave Rune 10 blueprints. I think I'm on her final note in Fate Simulation. I gave her 10. That's 15. So she probably needs.
Oh, yeah, I got some more Monarch blueprints. I should feed Monarch some more.
4.
Yes, Omega would like to remind you he has actually completed a priority ship. It happened. I built Monarch finally. It only took me literally a year. And for them to add that fucking catch-up mechanic so you could do it fast. God. I know it's partially my fault, but also, am I truly to blame that I didn't want to grind out, like, super hard maps for shitloads of millions of EXPs? Am I truly wrong? Some people in the audience will say I'm wrong.
I'm just gonna fucking shrug. Ah, shit, I have to actually level up Gascon. Fuck. Okay. Bark. Yeah, Lucky finished Gascon, and he's working on Odin. So he has one Series 1, 2 Series 2, and he's probably gonna have 2 Series 3 because he's all about that. He's all about that Crimson Axis life.
The Series 3s are also pretty cool. Though, what's it? I think it's Georgia from Series 2 is the eagle with the heterochromia. She looks pretty sweet. Good design. Good designs are good.
Good designs are good.
But yeah, other than continuing this trend, do we truly have anything new to mutter about Azur Lane?
Not really.
Besides just to rub it into all those Hololive simps.
One day I'm gonna make a Hololive fleet. I'm gonna be like, hey, check these bitches out.
You should stream it too, because you have BlueStacks. You should just stream your fucking map grind with your Hololive setup. Be hilarious.
It might. Let's see. So
also, if you put Hololive in the title, we might get some viewers.
We might.
People are weird. Like I said, we got some drive-bys in that Fall Guy stream of like people who very clearly weren't regular listeners and had no idea who the fuck we were. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just very funny to see like that trending effect apply, right?
Yeah. Well, Fall Guys is still the hip thing at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, Lucky doesn't go for bandwagon stuff, but Fall Guys is at least fun enough most of the time that I don't mind it. Like I said, Lucky doesn't usually like competitive games, but I don't know. I guess I make an exception for Fall Guys because one, I'm streaming it, and two,
you usually do it with an audience, but also I think with Fall Guys, the thing is that it's as much a competition with yourself as the other people.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
The other people part is the most frustrating. Like that's always the thing that annoys me the most and that's the games that everybody hates, right? That's Seesaws, that's Slime Climb, right? That's Hexagon, honestly. Is when other people who, at least to your end, I will admit there's some netcode stuff there, so there's some internet connection. Because I've seen, last night I played like 3 or 4 rounds, just, casually, because I was like, okay, it's 2 a.m., we finished Jackbox, I'm not going to start Ghost of Tsushima. I'll just play some Fall Guys rounds. There was like one case where I was like in second to do Fall Mountain, and the guy in front of me ate shit, but then he glided uphill across the floor like he was coated in Vaseline and got back to his feet. Which I'm pretty sure means that my version of Fall Guys was telling me that guy got hit, and he didn't actually get hit. Which is a problem some of these online games have. Like, I've heard about that with, like, say, GTA Online a lot, where you can get weird interfaces where you can accidentally hit people or not hit people. I lost that one. I got a lot of second place last night. No wins yet. But those are the games that make me the most pissed off, is the ones when people get in the way, but because I can't actually be mad at those people because they're not real, quote unquote. It turns into my outlet has to be yelling about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I do think that there are some things that everybody would have a better experience if they didn't work that way. But we live in 2020, so stream audiences and the game developers will just go, hey, Fall Guy, fall down. And just be like, nothing could be done, that's just how it is. Which, not that I've ever seen the Fall Guys Twitter do that, I also don't see them ever acknowledge anyone ever saying anything bad about their game either, so not acknowledging is different than making up bullshit, at least. right? Like, if they don't just respond to people yelling about, and maybe they have responded to people in the past yelling about slime climb, and they just stopped because everybody yells about slime climb.
Well, they do. They have been doing hot fixes and patching things minor here and there, so maybe it's something like they're quietly working on.
Could be true.
Because here's the thing: you don't want like speaking of it, like as I said, we like full transparency.
Well, yeah, you don't want to appear like you're caving to people, right? Like, I can understand why they don't just like immediately remove grabbing of other players, even though that's the amount of situations where that actually helps you and does not immediately kill another person are minimal.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll state it. I'm not quiet about my opinions. Anybody who grabs another player in Fall Guys during a race is a war criminal. I'm not subtle. They might, in fact, literally be Nazis. Anyway, but yeah, you don't want to feel like you're caving because then people get entitled and they start making demands that they really shouldn't, which are dumb. Yeah. Like, how dare Fall Guys not have a pity system where every 100 rounds I fail, I win a round automatically? Like, nah, that's not how that works. But there are some things that I find a little niggling with that could be improved. But in general, it's as much with keeping up with yourself, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I think it tamps down on the frustration, because at the end of the day, you know that it's your problem, but it's not it's not so, like, it's not as extreme as, say, like a Dark Souls or something. It's not the Dark Souls of Battle Royale party games or anything. Where you have to just, at some point, like we've talked about this with like Soulsborne type games, there are sometimes when you just have to be like, I don't have the dedication to get good at this. That's too much of a pain in the ass. Fall Guys isn't that. It's way faster and simple, and you're like, oh, well, I fucked it up. We'll go again. You know?
And honestly, at some points, you do start getting good. Like, Lucky is having a fairly decent record with Slime Climb now. I think I only won one because I think I was only one of, 5 people to actually make the climb up.
You immediately went to the last round.
Yeah. And because Lucky's like, all right, I got some fucking strengths. I'm going to bump her up again. I don't have to actually go full around for the plan. I can just hop up there. You know.
Yeah, if you have the right timing, the Dorito strat is the way to go. But often you don't have the positioning or timing, unfortunately.
No.
That said, the Slime Climb is the ultimate test, right? Because one, it's about other people. You got to get ahead of the pack. But two, it's all about actually having patience and timing.
Oh yeah.
Like you will fuck up way more Slime Climb attempts by being impatient and bumping other people into the abyss. Fuck you, everybody else who's ever played Slime Climb. I've said this before with like having social anxiety in real life. I'm really disappointed that there's no button to like slap people for touching me or something. And I've seen the fucking Hololive clips of them yelling about being touched. There's too much touching in Fall Guys, and there's not enough you can do about it. I don't like it, but anyway, the timing is the key thing in Slime Climb.
Oh yeah, Vesperian here, so he won't start.
Vesper's not actually listening. Vesper's on mobile. They're probably at work or something. If somebody yells about Hololive in the chat, they will respond, but they're not actually listening live.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to building. Let's go back to opening my ships. Let's see if I got anything. Oh, I did get the new destroyer, Z-26. She's shooting fire. Adorable. All right, that was the only new ship I got so far. I'll crush them all. Nice. Speaking of excess bullens, I literally have 2 purple bullens I'm not using right now.
Yeah, no.
I should go see if anybody's leveled up.
That's what Lex is about to go do right now. Oh wait, did I put the new ships in my dorm? They might be at level 10 yet. Ugh. Again, juggling that gacha life is how we do.
Yep.
I did not put. Oh, I put them in a commission. That's what I did.
It's usually how it starts.
Yeah, no. Literally, my dorms.
Honestly, I do appreciate that it doesn't try to auto level ships that are at level 1, right?
Yeah. Like I said, it's not as finicky as I want because usually I just try to stick with Ironblood and Sakura ships, but constantly they're trying to throw in Royal and Eagle Fleet. I'm just like, okay, whatever, fine, just do it. I just want to go. Oh my, these things are complete. I will do that because I'm all about that Axis life. German engineering is the best in the world.
It's almost like there's a joke about that or something. Oh,
I know, right?
I have one more ship slot in this commission. Who gets the spot? Who's it gonna be?
You got anything urgent? No, I don't got anything. That's cool.
Yeah, I know you don't have urgents in the middle of the day. I am kind of sad that that's only at the end, right? Have I actually begun leveling up all my Hololive ships I have? Let me filter.
I'd have to start doing that.
Is that other?
Yes, it'll be other.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I have. Yeah, I've got 4 looking at it. How many were there total?
Right. 7, I believe. I believe you have enough for.
I'm missing 3. I
Yeah,
have
actually-
Fubuki, Aqua, Matsuri, and Ayame. So I don't have Mio Okami, and I
Oh.
don't have whatever the other 2 are that I don't remember.
let's
But I have been leveling them. They are all level... Everybody's like level 66. Why? What's that cutoff? Is that like a... must be a certain level. Because my regular vanilla Kizuna Ai is 69. Anniversary Kizuna is 68. Elegant Kizuna is 67. There is no Gamer Kizuna. I cry. I've got Purple Heart, Neptune, Vert, and Vert all at 67. Black Heart is 66, and then all my Hololive ships are 66. Weird.
All right, that's time joins. All right, so I have Tokino, Nakiri. Let me see here. Wait, wrong. Okay, top here. Okay, I have Shion, Fubuki, Sora, Ayame, Aqua, Matsuri, Mio.
That's right.
Yeah,
Sora
that's-
was one of them.
Yeah, so that's 7. It's if I remember correctly, there's 3 carriers, 2 destroyers, 1 cruiser, and a sub.
No battleships.
Yeah.
If they do a rank 2, I know somebody joked about Kiryu Koko aircraft carrier, but she should clearly be a battleship because she's
No, she should totally be a battleship. How
she's
dare
thick.
she would have big guns.
Alright,
How
let's
dare.
upgrade my Iron Blood tech level because I got a new ship.
Actually, let me check my fleet tech. What is?
Oh, I need to do more researches. That's something I haven't done yet on Rune that I'm not done with. No, I cannot speed up right now.
Oh wait, no, that's right. I'm fucking literally maxed at Iron Blood. I can only go to level 4. I don't know if the others can go higher. Can I? Oh, here it is, Iron Blood. Yep, there's the oil class.
If you hear clicking in the background, by the way, that's because I'm feeding Monarch a lot of Monarch blueprints right now. Much click.
something, Starsight, something.
I had 205 of them I hadn't spent yet. Probably because I believe they have a level cap. You got to start leveling up before you can use all your blueprints.
Yeah.
So I think I needed to start leveling her, and then I did that a lot. So now I'm feeding her blueprints to up her dev level. I think I'm going to go to 25.
Yeah, I should probably start working on the event just so I can get points so I can start buying more blueprints, because that is the strat right now.
That's definitely a thing. Plus, you can farm EXPs and stuff for people and things.
Oh wait, I should probably do this on hard for more points. Let's see here. Battleship, heavy cruiser. Well, you guys have done fucked up. You've given me a battleship and a cruiser for Fleet 1, so guess what? That literally means I'm going with my Oath Fleet. You fucked up. You have fucked up now. Let me see here. Let's go with rarity. So, nope, that will have Bismarck as the flag. Tier Pit's right beside it. And then because we still need to level Frederick de Grosse, she goes there. Then we have Naifu, Waifu. Yes, Naifu.
No
Yeah,
Naifu, no Laifu.
No, Prince Weekend is probably a Naifu. Same with fucking Rune. She will stab a bitch. But then the second slot goes Leipzig, who goes there for supports. Leipzig, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. You're down there. And then Rune will bring up the rear. That's Fleet 1. That's all I need. I can probably literally destroy them all with just that.
Destroy them all. Destroy them all. All right.
I'm still laughing that when we were talking about the best Call of Duty war game, mine won. My suggestion was, at first you don't succeed, burn it all to the ground.
Oh yeah, that's right. The ship for this was King George V, portrayed by Ayako Kawasumi, but I already have her. I don't need these copies. I don't even know. Do I need these fucking cognitive chips? Probably not. I have more than enough cognitive chips to, I think, cognitive all my cognitives, but I don't have the coins for it. Is my problem. Mm-hmm. Boy, howdy, that gets almost better with them coins. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. When you live that Azur Lane life, you need that coin life as well. Mm-hmm.
God, they're running so many small greebles that I don't need.
Well, that's the rerun life. Let's see here. Where is Hipper? There you are. Wait, no. Isn't that Hipper Mew?
That might be Hipper Mew.
Yeah, no, that was Hipper Mew. Regular Hipper is actually 110. There we go. Lucky gets his ships up to 100, but it's the ships I use most often that get
I'll do a smart, just like Lucky, and I'll do hard mode.
Wait, where are my hacking? Oh, they're up here because I'm done. Yeah, so let's go with Z23 and Z46. There we go. Did someone knock? Hang on one second.
There are a lot of thumpy bump noises around Lucky. So how y'all doing down there at home? We're at over 2 hours now. There's stuff we can do. There's things we're gonna do. But I think after maybe when Lucky gets back, we'll detour for some Arknights gotcha. We'll probably be all through with that, and then I don't know if we got much else to talk about yet. But I'll continue to vamp. I see that some of our Iron Blood loading screens are back. I noticed Bismarck's thighs earlier. It's a great one. Speaking of thighs and Arknights, I know there's that, I believe that's a brand new unit in CN that just appeared, who will be a defender, who is a thick lizard. They're doing that a lot. It's neat. It's fun. Does stuff. But, yeah. It's happening. New Arknights units are interesting. I can never tell if I want or care them, but maybe I will. Honestly, sometimes not having a care works in your favor, because when you care too much, then you spend a shitload of stuff and don't get neon, and you have nothing to show for it. That's right, Helliger, I said nothing to show for it. It's been a couple weeks since I think I told that story, but yes, I did it. I have a bad habit of rolling a unit who has a raid up, not on their raid up, but on the other banner that I actually give a shit about. I wish they would stop. Alas, alack. Arknights really is truly Spook City, though. Truly Spook City. Oh, hey, look, I'm already done. I've already got a perfect S. Yay. That's Azur Lane. You turn it on, you look away for a second, it's done. But yeah, I actually got my shit together in a couple of games. Been working on some stuff. Made sure to make it so I can farm all the double chip maps. There's a couple other maps I should work on and maybe do some story stuff.
Hey, Meg, is that recording?
Yeah, we're still
recording, Paul. Yeah.
No, it's not paused. Do you want to pause?
Please pause.
All right. Okay, we're on pause.
Yeah, sorry about that, but food cold.
Like he had to step away for food. Yeah. And while you were gone initially, before we had to cycle out there, I was vamping a little bit, saying how we would talk about Arknights next, probably after we're done talking about Azur Lane.
Yeah.
Which we might be. I don't know.
Oh,
I've continued to AL farm while you've been gone.
Mm-hmm. I'm AL farming right now. But no, I think we talked enough about Azur Lane. If we want to switch over to Arknights, I really don't have anything much to report. They have their back half of the anniversary event going on.
Yep. I've got my Kitono skin already.
Yeah, I just got mine today. So I'm like around, what was it, like 30? I think I've hit like 4,000 in the time that I started in it, because I went and did a bunch of EXP map runs because I wanted to get my shorts to 80.
Uh-huh.
And she is. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to promote both shorts and siege to E2, because I definitely would like to use Schwartz in some
siege. I should think about that too. I'm using siege a lot.
Yeah, no, siege is great. I fucking love siege. Siege is a linchpin of my opening move.
I have used a lot of siege to get those. I talked about that while you were gone. I've defeated all the tier 2 chip maps, and I've got them 3-starred.
Mm-hmm. Oof.
So, siege. My siege, who is max level E1, helped out with that a lot.
Yeah, that's where mine is right now.
And I've been thinking, because I realized that I got Texas a little bit ago, but hadn't leveled her. I'm wondering if I want to use her to cycle out Courier, maybe?
Maybe?
Because she's also a block 2.
Yeah,
she is interesting. Her second tier skill, I've E1'd her already. That's pretty easy to do with everybody. Her second tier skill is kind of an AoE burst slowdown effect, but also gives you DP infusion, which is cool.
Yeah, that's what I kind of use my it's not Vigna. It's fucking...
Yeah, Vigna's the block 1 kill shit one, which Reed is a more advanced version of. I think the usual DP ones are Scavenger and Courier.
No,
yeah.
Sorry, I've completely blanked on her name.
Alright, you're gonna have to describe the unit to me then.
She's the fucking gang leader. The Ursus gang leader.
Oh, the Ursus one. Fuck, who's the Ursus Vanguard? Is that Zima? I don't have that. I don't have... is it Zima? Chat saying Zima.
It might be Zima, yeah.
I only have Isuna. I don't have Bee Hunter or Zima. Supposedly Zima's going to be on raid up with the... Is it pronounced Seobe? I have no idea. Seobe? Kobe? I don't know. I don't know what it's referencing. I think I heard that she's going to be at the same time. Thanks, Panda. Panda just typed something.
Yeah, Panda doesn't know. Whatever. But,
It's spelled C-O-B, but it's got a C in it, which means we have no idea how that's supposed to be said. We had this conversation yesterday on Let's Talk About X's. C's are another unfortunate thing that, depending on which language you're in, have a lot of meanings. I think I've talked about that with Latin, right? Latin has no soft C's. C's are all K sounds. But English has the soft or hard C.
Yeah, that's why you get the difference between Kaiser and Caesar.
But yeah, I don't have the Zeemster yet.
Yeah,
I only got Texas recently.
I usually use Zima, and I said Zima Siege seems to have gone pretty well for all my early Vanguard needs. But,
So
what
type of Vanguard is Zima? Is she block 2?
She's block 2.
Okay.
And I like to use her second skill a lot because she's still only max E1. But her second skill is pull it up. I actually gotta open up Arknights here.
Yeah, I cannot double check because I do not own one.
Arknights. I should change my secretary to see someone besides Province.
My secretary currently is Reed.
Yeah, her skill 2 boost, but I actually want to read it out. Logging in, connecting to the neural network of Rhode Island.
I'm doing some autoplays to get some materials. I just saw Skyfire blow up a spider and eat shit and die. Goddamn spiders. This is why my Lapland is E2 and I've started skill specializing her. I am real tired of your shit, spiders.
Oh, Jesus, my Zima's fucking potential 4. I've gotten a lot of Zimas. Holy shit.
I have none. Arknights is really weird like that.
Oh, yeah, you're only skill 4? Oh, that's because I have no fucking Aurora. I've been trying to get up my best used operators at least up to skill 7. Because that's when, before
specialization is a good one. But sometimes it's hard because the way materials in this game are distributed is really weird. Like, there's some materials I have, like, absolutely none of, but some I've got so many of. Some of that's from events, shops, and stuff, but others just like, wow, I guess some of these were just drops on maps I did a lot. And they've introduced new ones, too, that are just like, where did these even come from?
Yeah, my Neon is going to be E1 for a fucking while, y'all. Anyway, so Zima's skill 2, which I like a lot. I don't know what but it's called Ursa's Roar. It basically, so it lasts for 10 seconds, and it's a manual skill. But you gain 10 DP over the skill duration. But all Vanguard operators attack and defense, you get an increase. At level 4, it's plus 35%, and you gain 1 extra DP when killing an enemy. So it's a lot of effect in just one skill. So I'm like, yeah, no, I like that. That's why I don't use him. And I don't know if there's anyone who else, because for me, Vanguards are definitely usually my opening move, immediately.
Yes, you almost always start with a Vanguard because they're key to your DP generation. Whether it's because Scavenger and Courier, for instance, are both defensive. They both kind of fort themselves up and generate DP when their skill activates. Then the others are like Vigna or Granny, for instance, is I can only block one guy, but I do a lot of damage, so it's okay. And Granny, obviously, when she pops her skill, can block up to 2.
Usually my opening move is to get out 2 Vanguards. Yeah, people scream about how great Myrtle is, but I haven't leveled her and I have no need to.
Myrtle is a weird one. You can do fun stuff with her. I have one, but I haven't leveled her much either. But I actually realized I don't have a lot of Vanguards. It's weird. I think I only have a dozen.
Yeah, no, same. I probably have. Actually, no. You probably have one more than I do. Because
I'll double check as soon as I'm done auto-farming this map. I'll look at it. But yeah, Myrtle has very weird specifics. Some people really like her because she does different stuff, but also she does different stuff. In Arknights, there's a very kind of hit or miss effect of okay, this unit does something weird. Either you love them, or you have absolutely no use for them because they do something weird. I feel like a lot of summon units are kind of at that. I gotta be honest, very rarely do I need mad crazy DP regen. Maybe for level 5, farming maps, maybe I need crazy high DP. There's definitely some maps where I've been wow, I literally cannot get units out fast enough. But it's still very weird for a Vanguard. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't had to run into a DP problem yet. Usually,
that's because you've just said you had Siege, right?
Yeah.
That's because as far as Vanguards go, Siege is just BS. I think she's just her skill kit is just, hey, I do all the Vanguard things. You know how there's 2 types of Vanguards? I'm all Vanguards.
Oh yeah, right now, like I said, I haven't got her E2, but she's using Aerial Hammer. Because every time she uses that, just gain fucking 3 DP, and she can store 3 charges of it.
Yeah, and then it also does extra damage to people, and she can actually block 2. Which is, honestly, and barring very rare maps, blocking 2 is very critical. I almost only ever use block 1s as surgical strikes. I actually did a challenge mode I completed the challenge mode for the first Skull Shaker map to get some Prime Coins a while ago, because I realized I was a little behind on them. And I skipped that because that map is incredibly frustrating. I actually switched my setup and switched it back to Melantha, I think, because it's just so easy to do her thing to hey, you can only block 1 guy, but you'll murder him real good. But it's very niche. Let me pop up my operators. Let me check what Vanguards I've got.
Actually, can I make enough rocks? You might
be able to make enough rocks. Oh, I lied.
Oh,
Yeah. No, I didn't lie. I have exactly a dozen. So I've got Siege, Courier, Reed, Vigna, Myrtle, Vanilla, Grunny, Scavenger, Fang, Tejas, Plume, and Yato.
Yeah, no, it's rocks. But no, I just saw that Neon has a work shape, and Jesus fucking Christ. She has 2 skills, both of which pertain to the workshop. She has rare elements identification. When this operator is assigned to the workshop to process elite material, the production rate of the byproduct rate increases by 100%. But,
Shit, dude.
But also, she has reckless. When this operator is assigned to the workshop to process elite materials, increase the morale consumed by all corresponding formulas by +2.
So she gives you byproducts all the time, but she consumes morale faster than normal. Interesting.
Yeah, that sounds like Neon too. But I guess what? I need some fucking elite materials, so...
Yeah, so my Texas is only just now workshop. One. I need to work on that. I might use her to cycle out for Courier.
Like, I can't.
Ooh, actually, you know what? I'm just thinking about that. That's right. I also have Aerial Hammer on her. I should see what the promotional requirements for her are. Ooh.
Rock.
No,
rock.
Yeah, you're right. She needs triple rocks, which my Amiya also needs. I also need one more bipolar nanoflake.
Fucking
which I
rocks.
can only make in my workshop? Yeah, I think I actually need to... I was farming for rocks. I think I need to farm LMD first, because I might be able to convert cube rocks into hex rocks. Fucking rocks. How hard is it to find rocks? Am I right?
Yeah. Let's say I can make 3 rocks.
I guess they're technically special rocks, but you know what I mean. No, I can't build anymore. Oh, because bipolar nanoflakes need fucking white horse coals, which I also don't have enough of. Fuck.
You can make those, though.
I know, I can make all of them. And I can buy the regular toxic coals in the shop. So many, which I'm doing. But I also need those, because I've got 3 or 4 of my max level units, which are, I'm thinking, like I said, like, I want to maybe do E2 Amiya. I definitely want to E2 my defenders, my primary defenders, which are Neural and Lisk. They've really, been holding down my squad a long time. And then, but now that you brought it up, I'm like, oh yeah, I really do. Ever since I got her and maxed her out, I really do rely on Siege a lot. So
okay. So Lucky was fortunate. He has enough to get fucking 6 Aura Rock concentrations. But now I need 3 more bipolar nanoflakes.
Ooh, yeah, I know it hurts.
So back into the workshop we go.
We do have an event coming up. Hopefully they got some good shit in the store.
I'm hoping.
Events are usually how you get your shit, because otherwise you got to stay in some mines a long time. Yeah, I need a Neural needs. Shocking nobody, since she is a horse. Neural needs 9 white horse coals.
Oh god, that kills me. Fucking... Okay, so... To make a bipolar bioflake, you need an optimized device and 2 white horse coals. I have 1 optimized device, so I need to make 2 more. To make more optimized device, you need fucking an integrated device and more fucking rocks. I'm like, god fucking damn it never ends!
Yeah, there's a real incestuous system. I'm gonna go beat up the LMD mines for a little bit.
Yeah, go do that.
Because I need some cash. But yeah, Arknights going, it's doing things. I'm starting to feel fairly competent with, figuring out teams, using stuff, building stuff.
Rocks!
Some stuff is a little try-hard, but I do like that they're talking about contingency contract coming back. I do appreciate that that's still pretty... It doesn't have to be try-hard. If you want to be try-hard about it, you can, but you don't have to. Right? Yeah. Which is good for us, because we're filth cash.
Ooh. Lucky does need some of the newer maps, because he does have Neon. I don't mean to rub it in Make's face, but...
No, I've heard that from people who were lucky and did get her, is that you got a lot of stuff. Listen, I'm hoping, I think Panda brought it up earlier, they're going to bring her banner back when they do W and Weedy. It'll be separate, but they have a sparking system where if you fail so many rolls, you get points. So I'm kind of hoping that, considering how much I threw at that and didn't get her, I'm pretty sure I hit my pity rate. Well, they are doing that spark system thing, right? Does that apply? Is that just 2 limiteds, so I could get a free W? I don't know. Listen, I didn't understand what the fuck that system was when it came out, because it was all in Chinese and it was a while away. But there's even more pity system for limited units, which I'm hoping I will cash out the effect of, because I literally, I think, hit the pity rate, and my pity rate was Helger. It wasn't even Ack.
Can I make 6 of these? I can.
Like, yeah, I said this earlier, I think, while you were gone again, that Arknights is definitely Spook City, and I have definitely been bamboozled multiple times where I have rolled a unit who is on raid up, but not on their own raid up. I think that's how I got Hoshi. Like, I think I got Hoshi on Chen's banner.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cylon is now fatigued as well, because no one can hang out in the workshop for more than a couple minutes.
No, the workshop's the weirdest one, because it only burns morale when you do things, but whenever you do more than, 2 things at once, you burn a lot of morale.
Yeah. I was able to make one more bipolar nanoflake. Make 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
I had enough to make all the white coralline, so yeah, I need rocks. Lucky just needs more fucking rocks. It's always rocks.
Well, you can start at 1.7 and build up, or you can go to... how far are you actually in story?
Let me see here. Let me check. Back. Leave the base, yes.
Theoretically, it's a rare drop, but 4.6, I believe, you can auto-deploy that one, has cubes and hexes.
Yeah,
okay, so if you've got the 3 stars, you can try and farm that one. It'll cost you more sanity, but...
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually, that is my rock farm right now, actually, because when you go to... When it says... Here's something I do like. When you actually click on it, it'll actually tell you where you can find it, and you can just jump there.
Yeah, I do love that feature. And it lets you know if you can only build it in the workshop.
Yeah.
Much like when I clicked on Bipolar Nanoflake, it's like, only workshop. And I'm like, well, I'll go look at it. And then I was like, oh, I need many, many white horse coals that I don't have that I also need for other things. Okay. I guess I'll die.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me open it up. Let's see here. Upgrade materials.
That's
yes. So I get
some extra cubes. Well, I've got some juiceogram replies.
Boom. Got 1 bipolar nanoflake. Now I need to make... Yep, and I have enough white gold to make 2 more. So I need to make 2 more integrated devices. I need 4 Aura Rock clusters. I need clusters. Let me scroll on down here. I
have 556. I have 73. I have Bismarck. I have Z26. So U96 is new?
Yeah, I guess I'm just...
Echo?
Yep, I'm in that 4-6 life now. Let's see, it costs 18.
Yeah, she's blue, it doesn't matter.
Let's see. I got two fucking cubes of fucking sugar. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
I have 27 wisdom cubes. I'm debating if I want to throw another to get U96. Another batch.
I would say hold off. I mean, the event's not going off anytime.
That's fair. I can bank more cubes.
Yeah, bank cubes.
I don't really... submarines are definitely, while I appreciate their effect, they're definitely such a thing that's like, I don't even galaxy my brain over submarines. I have some subs, they do sub stuff. My fucking Surkuf is like level 100. It's nuts. Anyway, let's go back to the event, and let's multi-gotcha drift and farm LMD, because I will need more. I had lots and lots during the Ironforge event, because I wasn't spending it on leveling and stuff, but since that ended, I've been actually doing stuff, so my LMD levels go down a little bit. The constant cycle. But yeah, I'm looking forward to new Arknights content. I still like Arknights. I talked about that earlier while you were gone, the fucking thick lizards.
Yeah.
They're going a little crazy.
She
looks like cool stuff.
She has the thick tail.
Well, and also, the Defender they showed up has the perfect thick thigh look, because she's got that just little bit of bulging out.
Squish.
It's nuts. Somebody tweeted about it, about how crazy it was.
Hang on. Wait, someone said it. I have to post it. Memes! There we go. Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't think... Is there too much to talk about there?
No, I'm just enjoying fucking Hoshi being a fucking goddamn wall. Hoshi just says no.
Hoshi, solid wall.
Mm-hmm. If you show a picture of Hoshi and then a fucking concrete wall, there will be no difference. They're the same thing. It's great.
Well, except that, Hoshi also has the magical power to clap back.
Yeah, she do. I think
it's like if you punched a concrete wall and the concrete wall also punches you back. Somebody should draw that fucking art.
Actually, I think I do have her reflex skill on. Saw strength is wild. Here's the thing that bugs me most about Azur Lane. When I'm auto farming, I never really, like, when I'm doing maps, I never think about activating skills until I'm like, oh shit, yeah, they have skills I can have to activate.
Well, auto should take care of most of that.
Well, yeah, auto when you're autoing, but I meant when I'm not autoing, when I have, I'm trying to, push forward in maps, because if there's something that Lucky is definitely not on top of in Arknights, it's pushing forward to new maps. Like I said, I'm only on 4.8. And let's see here.
I mean, I don't think 4's that long, so you're not that far behind. I have access to Chapter 5, but have not been in it yet.
Most of the time, I'm going back to do challenge maps, because I'm like, give me that coin! Give me coin! Or I'm doing, or I'm running supply missions, so much.
Oh yeah, all the time. I literally mentioned I'm farming LMD. I had so many digits and then I stopped.
It's I don't have time I don't have time for from story. I need to upgrade my operators. A lot of people say like once you hit like E2, you really don't need to do much. But I'm like, no, they have levels. They need them, right? I gotta do it.
Well, yeah, I mean, technically, though, I don't think I've seen a lot of like E2 level 10 requirements or anything like that. That would be a little crazy. I actually probably need to redo some of my annihilations. I usually just cruise control annihilation because it takes so much time, but I should probably at least redo my setups with some of my newer units.
I should probably rethink my Annie 3. Like, I haven't completed Annie 3 yet. I'm still at only 350, and
I need to perfect my Annie 2 actually because I'm at 399, and I'm like, where does that? I need to actually play it through and be like, where does that one little fucker slip through? Where's that one guy get in?
It's probably actually if it's Annie 2, it's probably one of the cloaked units.
I don't know about that, Chief. My Annie 2 setup involves a lot of heavy ranged shit. I don't think it's probably at the very end when there's fucking double axemen or something. Somebody probably explodes and my auto just doesn't fix it fast enough.
Oh shit!
I actually ran into that problem with autoing one of the I think it's the Defender Healer double chip map where in autoplay mode where the speed's going on, it doesn't deploy my stuff fast enough so that my Vanguard at Siege actually folds over. So I literally had to, in the middle of my auto, stop my auto to put a different unit down to replace that slot so I could complete it in a timely manner. Because it was just Lisk versus three fucking sarcasm mercenaries, and I'm like, okay, she'll probably survive this, but it's gonna take a while because she's the only offensive unit currently pointed at these guys. Auto is weird, but I do appreciate the feature. There's a lot of little guys. Like I said, I just need to actually play it in slow-mo, but that means I need to block out 20 minutes. But yeah, that's a thing I'll work on some other time. Probably not anytime soon though, because my intent is to go do other things. Hopefully tonight I'm not doing anything else. I can go start Ghost of Tsushima. I even have stuff to do lined up for it. I get some podcasts I can listen to while I'm doing it. But yeah, okay, that was Arknights, that was Azur Lane. We're about 2.5 hours. Lucky, you have anything else you want to talk about? I feel like 2.5 hours ago, plus some change, you said you didn't have a lot of stuff to talk about. But we winged it. So, do you have anything? Okay. Did Lucky have to step away? Did Lucky break his microphone? Hold on. Let's do some troubleshooting. Okay. I was just saying, and Lucky had to step out. Like I said, I don't think that came across Discord very well, because nobody said they heard anything, but Lucky had to step away for a second there. Yeah. Maybe if it was in the recording, you can let me know in the comments. But I was just asking if we had anything else to talk about, which is why I paused, because I was like...
no, for my Annie 3, like I said, I'm around 350. It's where the big hulking fuckers come out and just smash everything. But as I said, I don't have a Galaxy Brain Strap for Annie 3. I just alright, I just want my Annie 3 here so I can do my Annie runs, and 350 a pop is good enough to get to my,
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of, you get free certs for it, obviously.
Yeah.
And it does increase your weekly cap, but I don't think it's by too much of a lot that it usually matters.
Yeah, actually, let me see here. Combat, Annihilation, Annie 3. Let's see here. Yeah, I only have 375 and 400, and only 400 is going to give me the weekly reward limit cap. But I'm that 30 and 40k though. That sounds awesome. Oh, and it gives the same amount of XP as Annie 2. Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter then. But as I said, that 70k that I get from, let's see here, my current cap is 367 enemies out of 400. That 20 gold certs looks like 35 gold, the most golden. Are these the... No, they're not. They're the second golden, I believe. But 70k, and let's see. It's probably only gonna increase my cap by 25, so I have a, weekly random level of, 1700. I'm like, meh. Actually, how much red stuff am I at? I'm at 9,823. I have enough for a temple. I'm not gonna do a temple because I don't need another. I'm not gonna lie. Getting an extra Swartz or Saria would be nice, but I'm like,
I said it earlier. Spook City.
Mm-hmm. Actually, how many?
I literally already talked about how I got blasted by a Helliger while trying to roll for Neon. I didn't even need Helliger's banner.
Oh, something else I am doing, though, is apparently in China they did finally have, or they're saying they're going to have Scotty on the gold cert rotation, eventually. So, because originally Scotty had never shown up before, just not at all.
Yeah, I think we actually, was that on stream or on WhatsApp? You said that you started that conversation on mic.
I probably did. Yeah, but because Scotty will be there, I have started to save up my gold certs again because I want me a Scotty. She is Orca wife. Scotty to me is that character who looks serious all the time, but is actually just thinking about fucking what she wants for dinner. And I'm like, yes, I love this.
Yeah, so Scotty is the originator of the no thoughts, head empty kind of thing in Arknights.
Yeah.
Just nothing going on up there.
Mm-hmm. But, everyone kind of scared. I'm like, nope, I love this. So I've actually started saving up my gold certs, because before that I was like, there's nothing in the fucking gold certs that I really want besides just buying the fuck more out of free pools. But, as I said, as soon as I started doing that, Arknights, I think, but wait, she will be eventually. I'm just like...
Well, and I think that's the point, is you go through big droughts. Like, I think it's been 2 or 3 rotations since I gave a fuck about it. But one of those was Promanix, who I did get. I think I mentioned this last week. So there's definitely those cycles of, like, giving a fuck and doing stuff. Yeah. Did I also... I think I got my Siege that way, too. Because Siege was finally on Gold Cert, and I finally had enough. Because the very first time Siege was in the Cert shop, I did not get enough.
Lucky you forgot, you could buy fucking rocks in the fucking Cert shop. Yeah!
Oh, yeah, you can. You can buy a lot of stuff in the Cert shop. It's great. Yeah, That's why you should recruit every day. Not only because it's a reward, kids, it's a daily mission, but also because it gives you those sweet, sweet green certs which you can use to buy mats.
Yeah, Lucky just, emptied out their fucking Ore Rock cluster. There was 15 of them. I think that actually might be fucking enough.
No, it's pretty good.
Lucky totally forgot about that.
Oh, hey, level 63.
Yeah. Let's see here. So back to the workshop. Operator.
Operator. Moshi doctor desu.
Let me see here. So I need to make optimized devices. Yes, I have plenty. I'll make 2 more. Whoop, whoop. That's 2 of those. Now, whoops, that is not the button I want to push. Doctor error. Then we go to upgrade materials again. Go to buy planner nanofix. We make 2 more. I don't care if I don't get any benefits. Just give me the fucking nanoflakes. All right.
Give me the nanoflakes.
Give me my nanoflakes. Oh yeah, basically. Also, actually, I'll talk about this in a minute. Here, hang on. Oh, that's money. So let me check operator here. Let us check the Siege. Where'd she go? Siege? I lost you, girl. There you are. All right. So the little check promotion. Yep, I have 4 flakes and 6 big rocks. Now I just need fucking 4 dual chips and 180k. Yay!
Yeah, that's why I am in the LMD mines right now.
Alright, well,
I had a decent repair for, I think it was gold. I was getting a lot of gold from other stuff, but I burned through that recently.
Oh.
It happens. You get some stockpiles of stuff, then you stop, you go back. But okay, that's Arknights. We have now been going for about 245.
Oh, neat.
I don't know if there's too much else to talk about. It's funny, I was saying this earlier when you were gone and we didn't realize yet. That I think when we started this, I think you said you didn't know what we were going to talk about as usual.
Yeah, no.
And then we talked for 2.5 hours and some stuff.
That's how we do.
I say probably 2.5 hours because I'm always shocked by how much gets squished out when I truncate silence and do editing. People breathing, snorting, and just awkward pauses take up so much of your life, guys.
Lucky really wishes he can stop saying and all the time. That's one of those things I'm like, I would sound a lot more professional if I didn't stutter constantly.
Yeah, I mean, and someday we'll have. There, I did. Puzzwords are pretty important, actually. This come up in like writing classes before. But someday we'll have like full-time editors who have nothing better to do than to edit the whole show, and they will cut out all the puzzwords and stuff. Then we will definitely sound super Galaxy Brain. But for now, when we're recording 2.5, 3 hours of audio, and I already have to do editing for noise, truncate silence, all that stuff, normalizing the audio, so when I get super loud, it comes down to a normal level, so your headphones don't explode, along with your head. That's just way too much of a pain in the ass to... I used to do that for some of the stuff I did, actually. I would, cut out ums and awkward pauses and false starts. But that got to be way too much work, especially with how long we've recorded podcasts. We've really blown up our amount of time recording podcasts because the people want it. The people want it, and Patreon won't stop me. They do the inverse of stopping me. They are enabling me right now.
Enablers.
Oh, that's Echo. Yeah, I don't care about that. That'd be just another. I was wondering, because Echo's on Raid Up, I was like, who the fuck is Echo? I think I already got this ship, 1. And 2, it's like, it's another one.
Let's see. Do I
Emma just
have...
posted it in Gotcha Games. I'm like, oh, it's another blue ship.
Okay, so I have 3 Vanguard chip packs, so I'm going to need 5 more. Then I'm going to need 4 popsicles. How many popsicles?
Yeah, I still think that's bullshit. Because you never actually use double chips on their own, do you?
Not that I know of.
I think you only combine them with popsicle sticks. It's like another fucking step for no reason and another resource you need to mention.
Sweet! I got 6 popsicles, so I'm safe there. So I just need to go fucking punch Vanguard for a minute.
That is a thing that I do think is a little BS about Arknights, is we've talked about this, right? The incestuous nature. The materials are really weird, and you need so many of them in so many levels. Okay, so 4-star ops just use the...
Oh, okay.
Just use the duels. Okay. I haven't tried to Not that I don't like my 4 stars, I just haven't tried to E2 any of them yet. I've been focused on my high-yield units. I've only E2'd a 6 and a 5-star. Oh, actually, that might have happened since last week. I did actually E2 Exia.
Oh, nice.
So I've got her 3rd skill, which is the 5-shot. I haven't even... As usual, because they don't default to using the newest skill, I don't think I've even hardly used it in some of my setups, but it's cool. I believe it automatically happens, so I don't even realize when it's happening. Just people are dead. But, yeah, it's... There's, like I said, there's a lot of weird layers to materials in Arknights. It's not too much of a problem, because, like we said earlier, it literally tells you where you can get them, but it's still a little shim-shammy sometimes.
Shim-sham.
But yeah, I think that's that. We don't have anything else to talk about there. Do I have any other weird video ideas coming out? No. I do have some unboxing ideas coming, but those are going to have to wait for the power of Amazon shipping.
I mean, I have things I can talk about, but it's literally me faffing about.
I mean, we don't need to faff. The show's already almost 3 hours long. I'm just wondering if there's anything big core news. We could mention that we do have a new shirt, Please Simp Responsibly. That's also a pillow and a face mask and some other stuff. We'll see. I don't think we've sold any yet. Although we'll check on Teespring. And if you don't want that shirt, we have other shirts. Ooh, Teespring's making me log back in.
Out there.
I've done a server reset. Oh, and I logged in immediately. Thanks. Sold anything lately? Nope. We've only sold 8 products ever, but we have sold 8 things, so you can trust us.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll do deeper merch stuff later, but for now it's just a thing we do occasionally. Come up with simple ideas. It's fun. We do have the memberships, or technically memberships, but we mentioned those earlier. And yes, that was approved by YouTube. Well, actually, speaking of YouTube, we can mention a very funny instance. Because that's still ongoing. Because they took it back, but I haven't gotten my second review back yet. So, the thumbnail on Let's Talk FGO, the last one, was taken down by YouTube. Probably because, as I noted at the time, Consort U's legs in her Final Ascension are pitched at a really weird angle. It does almost look like a butt. I joked about that on Twitter, a weird front butt.
Front butt.
So it looks way more lewd and lascivious than it actually is. It's just her knees, guys. Don't freak out. So when we uploaded the thumbnail, YouTube took it down, which means the default thumbnail is now the video embed image, which is just the thumbnail. It's almost like I'm good at this. It just doesn't have some of the embellishments. I usually use Lucky's raw thumbnail because that's a larger resolution, because I don't have to shrink it to make it fit YouTube's description after I add greebles to it. Yeah, so they took it down, and then when I appealed it, they put it back immediately. And then by the time I got up this morning to add time codes and stuff, they'd taken it back down. So I appealed it again, and I said, seriously, guys, no, we're not violating any guidelines. There's no, like, nudity or explicit sexual content. They're just knees. We'll see if it sticks. If it doesn't, it's not a huge deal. The video's already doing all right, even with having a fake quote-unquote thumbnail. It's just very funny that it popped up, and we're just like, okay. Like, I literally went last night, heck, crisis averted, and then it's heck again.
Yeah.
By the way, that is a Lucky-ism I have fully adopted, is just heck. Heckin'.
Yeah, I like saying heckin'.
It works. It works, and it means I can save my dolings of fuck for when I'm either being very serious or very funny.
The heckening. Literally, when Lucky ran out earlier, I had the most... Oh, shit, this gets into the Lucky fapping, but whatever. I literally had the most random thought. I was like, if I ever make a 2D side-scrolling game, I'm gonna make it feature Tyranny Rabbit, and I'm gonna call it Rabbit Outta Heck, where you play Tyranny Rabbit trying to escape hell. I'm like, that'll sell. That'll fucking sell.
That seems adorable. But, yeah, that's just a weird, us trying to navigate YouTube anecdote. What YouTube gives and YouTube takes. It's how it works. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think that's all the shilling and stuff we need to get into. We've talked about all of our business and video games. I'm sure next week we'll have more new stuff to talk about. So yeah, that probably sounds like we're wrapping up What's Up.
Yep. Ready to get out.
Okay, I took a deep breath. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and wrapster up. Yeah, I'll close down BlueStacks for now. When did I full screen BlueStacks? I just realized it's full screen. I don't even remember doing this. I do a lot of things without remembering, and then sometimes my computer does things for me without me telling it to. I do technically have Cortana installed in this, so I don't know. She might be trying to fix things for me. I've just never had to use her because she's on my PC. What am I going to do? Yell across my room, Cortana! Open Audacity!
Be careful, she might actually.
Well, Audacity's already open, so hopefully it's fine. I don't think she even responds. I don't think my Cortana's even trained to recognize who I am. Oop. That's a Summer Kiara. We can retweet that. But, yeah, that sounds like it's time to do the outro.
Yeah!
So, if you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. If you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also hit up our Discord. That link is in the video description, along with many other helpful links, and on our channel page, as always. And, of course, if you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to our channel so you can always get our latest videos. I'm sure we'll have many, many entertaining things to come in the following week. And, of course, even if you're already subscribed, consider hitting that bell for notifications so you always know when we post a new video or when we stream. That's important, too. Lucky's planning that off-day stream, so you should make sure you got your notifications turned on so you know when he starts it.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, like it says at the front of the show, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to these episodes in audio format, downloadable for as little as $1 a month, or as literal as about $11 a year, because they offer annual memberships now. And I'm not going to keep that as part of the pitch forever, but it's a brand new feature, so I'm going to probably mention it for the next couple of videos, weeks, whatever, just so people are aware.
Aware.
We like awareness. We like to give you options to support us, and we like awareness. So you are now aware, and you can support us. And that's really everything, other than reminding you also about that little join link at the bottom of the video, too. It's in the description as well. So many links, so many convenient places. But that'll be What's Up for this week. Tune in next week for our next Let's Tech FGO and our next What's Up. I will actually definitely, in a week's time, have played some amount of Ghost of Tsushima. It'll be a whole week. It'll happen. I don't think I'll stream it, though. I'll figure out something else. It won't be a new month yet. I can't do another Uno stream yet. I'm gonna try not to go apeshit on Uno streams. But it was fun. People liked it. Got a lot of views and engagement on Uno. Anyway, that's just the extra faff at the end. It's time to go. So, I'm gonna end this video by giving you, the audience, a +4 wild bomb.